All right. Here we are at the best damn kayak podcast ever.
That's right.
What are we here for?
Welcome to Twisted Hooks Tavern Tuesday. We are...
I messed them all up.
Yeah,
Jeremy
and Chris, Twisted Hooks Fishing Team, and this is the best damn kayak podcast ever.
Ever, in our opinion.
Right. Disclaimer. Disclaimer, our opinion. Okay? You can agree, you can disagree. That's your opinion. But in our opinion, this is the best damn kayak podcast ever. I had to say it twice.
Right.
Yeah. And if you don't agree, your opinion sucks.
Yeah. Right. We are here as a voice for the normal kayak angler. We're here to set up with kayak setups, what to do, and what not to do for things that we've learned from experience.
There's plenty of things of those that we have done that you can learn from our mistakes.
Yes, indeed. And to talk about things to help us all become better kayak anglers.
Boom.
It's G-U-D good, bro.
That just happened.
It did. With a capital, that just happened.
Boom. Look at that. Overlay, son.
That looks awesome.
I don't know if you know it or not, but it's going to look a little different than it did last 9 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
We decided, all the single digit episodes would look a certain way. And then once we got into double digit episodes, we changed things around.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, Jeremy has went above and beyond with all this stuff, man. I mean, it's all on him. So y'all, if you like the way it looks, if you like the way it sounds, if you like all the overlays, give him a big thumbs up.
Call my wife and tell her you're happy she let me do it.
Yeah. Call Miss Amanda. Let her know that it looks G-U-D good and sounds G-U-D good. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
like it.
This part of the show, we normally do a cheers.
Boom, boom.
So, Kyle, you're going to have to figure out something.
I'll light a cigarette.
You better take a shot or something.
You better take a shot.
You can't cheers me with an empty hand.
Right. You can't. That doesn't work.
You going to drink of mine?
This is true.
Oh. On a beer? No. All right.
I'll take a beer.
Yeah.
There's a beer in there.
There should be a beer in there.
A lot of beer.
In the back.
Yep. There's a blue water in there.
Ice cold water.
Coming right up.
All right.
That
That thing's a little too big, but I don't like it covering us up.
What's that?
The overlay that I made for that.
I got you.
Cheers, my brothers.
My brothers.
Boom.
Cheers.
Man,
Man, that tastes so good.
we love that.
It tastes so good. So you heard me just say Kyle. This is Kyle Anderson from KA Fishing.
That's right.
Yeah. And give Kyle a little bit of time to talk about, his fishing deal, what he's doing, where he's going, the things that he's got going on. I know that him and Jeremy have teamed up on some things for a certain fishing trail. Also, Kyle, we want you to share a story, a fishing story. And, I don't
That's a 50-pound beaver over there.
Well, hey, hold up, bro. That's our story.
Yeah.
Okay? But
You did a good job editing it.
very
but,
much.
we're talking a story that you're involved in.
Yeah.
So I got a really good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a really good one from last weekend.
That's what we kind of
We kind of
thought.
figured we'd get into that.
At the wonderful Weiss Lake.
Yeah.
Before you get into that, tell us about KA Fishing.
Yeah, please.
So KA Fishing is, it's just me fishing. I'm waiting on a lot of stuff right now. I was hoping to get a lot of footage and a lot of different things for this season, but I was fortunate enough to get on with Triton Boats and Ducket Marine and getting into a new boat here soon, eventually. Just waiting on it to come in. So it was a great thing.
What kind of boat you got, Kyle?
It's going to be a Triton.
Yeah.
21 TRX.
21
Yes.
TRX.
You got Ryan and Bethany and Scott all on. She says it sounds so clear.
The
That's
only downside to that was with getting the new boat, I had to sell my old boat. And with selling my old boat, it really screwed up this season, which the whole coronavirus did a pretty good job of that also.
Yeah.
So
Well,
next season will be a lot better.
So it's not all your fault, is what you're saying.
No, it was actually pretty decent timing.
The pandemic helped out a little bit.
If a pandemic was gonna happen, it happened at the right time. For my fishing needs.
Right.
That probably sounds really selfish and horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you just went in on a brand new boat and all. So I mean, hey, fishing is a selfish type of thing. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fishing is.
Yeah. Scott, I'm not ignoring you. I see your question. If you can remind me in a little bit later when we're talking about back to the basics and stuff like that, I think we can hit on that.
If it's okay, I'll write it down.
The question is, what if we don't have a kayak? All his kids want to fish, but he don't know where to start. From the bank, son.
From the bank.
From the bank. Let him go fishing at the bank. You can do that all day long. Never have to buy a boat or a kayak.
We talked a little bit about bank fishing versus kayak fishing last week and how the techniques are different. You got to kind of learn, teach yourself different ways from sitting or standing in a kayak versus being able to stand on solid ground. But yeah, definitely we can check on and check back in. Sorry, my tongue is getting twisted.
Yeah, it is.
For some reason today. But we can get back to that when we get back to the basics.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle.
Yes.
We need a funny story, sir.
All right.
If you're done with KA fishing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's not really, well, I'm sure to some it'll be funny. To me, it wasn't. So last weekend we had the NAKA. I think it was second trail stop of the season.
Second trail stop.
It was on Weiss Lake.
That's right.
So go out to Weiss Lake, which from where I live, that's over 2-hour drive for me to get there. So I get to this area that I've been checking out. Never been there before, like I said, and there was a lot of windy roads, a lot of turns. Finally get there, fish. Caught 2 fish, got 2 bass in the whole day. Biggest one was only 10 inches, so it was a struggle. That was
caught fish though.
I did catch fish.
It's better than getting a big fat zero.
It is.
Right.
It is. Yeah. But it was really discouraging. And then I finally had enough. Fish till the very last minute. I'm going back to the ramp. Gonna put the yak back on the trailer and call it a day. Well, as I'm pulling the pedal drive up out of my kayak,
oh no,
my cell phone,
oh no,
decides to fall through a hole that's about that wide. There was really it could have hit so many different ways and bounced back into the kayak, but
it's you, so it's like a hot dog down a hallway.
That's exactly what happened. And it didn't even touch the sides. That's what I'm saying. Like it just it hit the water so quick, it splashed back into the kayak. So I sat there for
That's
a minute,
awesome.
and I thought about what do I do? I look at my depth finder and I'm like, I'm in over 10 foot of water right here.
Right.
So that's a really expensive phone. So I empty my pockets, hop out of the kayak, try to get it. Water was murky, couldn't find it, and
that sucks.
That was it. So then I had to,
So that's kind of like the money shot in casting, but phone version. Is that what we're saying?
I mean,
oh yeah, pretty much.
Like
it was pretty bad. Then I had to try and figure out my way home with no GPS because my phone was in the bottom of the lake.
Oh man,
yeah,
it's
a real funny story.
Well, I mean, it kind of sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
That totally sucked.
Yeah,
but on the bright side, my wife went and got me a new phone that next day.
Right.
Went and stood in line forever at the Apple store because they're not even letting people into the store now.
Right.
They had to take her temperature and all kinds of craziness.
Temperature? That's nuts.
Couldn't go in the store.
That's funny.
I mean, I couldn't go into Best Buy today to get extra battery for the new camera.
Yeah.
I had to do curb order.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
It is.
It's nuts.
But I got a new phone.
Yeah.
So
on that note, if the screen goes black, it's because the battery died, and I'll be momentarily switching the batteries. It won't ever happen again because I have a continuous power supply on the way. But tonight, I'm on battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if y'all are watching and the screen goes dark, it will be right back up as soon as we can get a new battery in there.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. we had talked about Kyle. Also, we want to thank Kyle. He came over yesterday. You guys can't see a lot of the stuff that's going on underneath the bar, but Jeremy has went out and bought this badass board. He's got a brand new computer. He's got brand new software. He's got just all kinds of stuff. So, if you're like enjoying the view, enjoying the sounds, you're enjoying all kinds of stuff, that's all from Jeremy going out and like just going all in on this stuff. So Kyle came over yesterday and helped out with some sounds. So
it was very much appreciated.
Very much appreciated. We want to say Kyle for coming over, being here today, helping us out with some stuff. You guys can see that he's got headphones on, so he's hearing what you hear. You know what I mean? We can't hear all the stuff. So if he throws in like a sound clip or something like that, he could totally screw us. You know what I mean? We could say something.
He's already knows what the buttons are.
Right. He's already got them like memorized.
What's up, Ron?
So
Bethany, if you saw the lights, I don't think we need a ring light.
No.
No. Yeah, no. We've got these badass lights out here, man. It's just you kind of feel, kind of like a rock star sitting back here, man. You feel like kind of Howard Sternish,
like a midget with a mullet rock star.
Yeah,
sweet. That's the only kind.
Yeah. So it's awesome. I feel privileged to be a part of this. I really do. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So Kyle, is there any else that you want to kind of touch on with your KA fishing, or any more stories or anything like that before we kind of?
No, not right now.
We're gonna drop all your social stuff later, right? Yeah. Before the end of the show, make sure if you actually like Kyle, we're gonna throw his social stuff up there so you can check it out. Social media stuff.
By the way, that's not exactly easy to do.
It's not.
Like Kyle.
Not at all.
Yeah,
no,
like
but not easy. Yeah.
So you guys got to get in you can hear the effects and stuff like that. So it's really cool, man. It really is. We hope that you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, and let us know on your end if when we do any sound effects, if anything needs to be maybe turned up a little bit, or if you guys can hear everything good. If someone's too loud, give us some feedback on your end also in the chat.
Most definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Because that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We got to make sure you can hear us,
right,
and see us be complete asses of ourselves.
Yeah. And hopefully you get a couple of laughs out the deal along the way. You want to bring in
Scott?
What's that?
Scott says, "F, who likes Kyle?"
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So who we got coming on here?
We got guy? Right now. We're going to bring it. We tried to do this. Let me rephrase. Let me kind of back up for a second, if that's all right. We tried to bring in Trinity last week.
Yeah. And
we weren't able to kind of do that. We were talking about the Catch Some Relief products, and we've got a giveaway that we're going to announce here in a little bit. But now that we're able to get him in, we want to welcome Trinity from Catch Some Relief.
Catch Some Relief.
How y'all doing? How's it going tonight?
Oh, he's
doing good. How are you?
Good. Can y'all hear me okay?
We are great.
What's going on, big guy?
Hey, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we hear you fine, sir.
All right. Catch Some Relief. Look at
How
that.
you like that? Can you see our video there, Trinity?
I like it. Y'all are making improvements, man. Always improve.
Right.
Sharks and sleep.
1% a day. That's all we're going to try to do.
Just keep moving forward, sir. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So kayak fishing. I've never, I'm a big guy. I haven't kayak fished. I fish out of boats and pond fishing, but I've seen these kayaks here a lot more lately. They've just caught on with popularity over the past 2-3 years.
Yeah, indeed.
I saw some guys out this weekend at Guntersville. I couldn't believe they were in kayaks.
Oh yeah,
the way the wind was blowing and stuff. So
with all the traffic that the boats are making and the wind, I'm sure it wasn't much different than Weiss. We were seeing 3-foot whitecaps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wide whitecaps. Yep.
It wasn't too bad at Guntersville. I thought it would be worse actually. The 2 weekends before at Logan Martin was unbelievable.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was with the pontoon boat traffic and the ski boat traffic and the 15-20 mile an hour winds. It was pretty impressive out there.
Yeah, man. Weiss was awful. It was, I mean, that's the best word I can come up to describe it. Was the water was just awful. There was a 200 boat tournament.
250.
250? Was it 250? Okay.
Yeah, we tried to go to the ramp.
Yeah.
That we didn't know that's where all the boats were launching from.
Right.
The line was like 1.5 miles long.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and as we were docking or trying to, put their boats in the water or kayaks in the water, all these boats were coming past us that were docking from the landing. And it was just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. And it was like that all day long.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets worse. It gets worse around 11 o'clock when all the recreational people come out.
Yeah, all the jet skis. Gotta love those guys.
I really like how you phrase that, Trinity, because that's a whole lot better than what I would call it.
Oh, well, I mean, everybody's got entitlement to the water.
Agreed. I agree with that.
It's like someone coming out and fishing on your hole. If you let them bother you, then they're winning. So just
I agree.
Hey, come on in. Let's catch these things.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I did with all the bass boats. I had dudes casting like 6 foot from my kayak. And I was like, cool.
Damn.
Don't get mad when I do the same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
you were on the spot.
Yeah.
We actually I'm sorry, I don't want to take away from your time. So man,
I'm here. No problem. Just
if you
whatever.
want, we didn't, again, last week we tried to bring you in to talk about the stuff, the products that you have. If you're okay with it, we'd, give you some time to talk about, just
The products, your giveaway that we're about to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as you get done talking about it, we're announcing 3 winners.
Right.
Okay. Well, little backdrop on what I've been doing. Back in June of 2018, I went to Tennessee and started the first hemp dispensary in the state. So for the first time in the Southeast, I put buds in a jar and said, hey, we're a dispensary. If you don't know, hemp is cannabis, just like marijuana is cannabis. Marijuana being higher in THC than CBD, much higher. Hemp is exactly the opposite. It's extremely high in CBD and very, very low in THC. It has to be below 0.3% THC. We created over 200 SKUs for Tennessee Hemp Supply and opened 5 stores in 112 days.
Wow.
I prided ourselves, our company, on providing wellness. So I wanted to give customers something that you don't get at the doctor's office. You don't get at the hospital. You're not just a name and a number. I wanted to ask what your symptoms are. I wanted you to feel comfortable with understanding and learning about the endocannabinoid system and being confident in the products you bought that they could provide wellness.
I'm really glad you actually did that because, just me personally, I don't have a background. I don't have a history where I know anything about the difference between marijuana and CBD. You know what I mean? To me, it was all the same thing.
Most people do.
Yeah. I've never done drugs, never done any stuff like that. So I guess I grew up kind of sheltered, but I'm glad that there's people like you take the time to educate me and then find the right product for me.
Right. Well, I like to say in college, I didn't excel. So
Really?
I was familiar with cannabis all along. And honestly, I think it's one of the largest world heists in the history of the world because of the prohibition of cannabis in 1937. So they took it out of the food pyramid, basically. There's 113 to 168 cannabinoids in cannabis. Only one of them psychoactive. That's the Delta-9 THC. So due to that, it led to the hybridization of the plant to be as high in THC as possible. And THC is fun and it's got its benefits, health benefits as well, while also getting you high. But there's other cannabinoids that are important to keep in mind.
Right.
CBD, unequivocally, with the anecdotal evidence I've got over the past 2 years, is extremely good at inflammation reduction and anxiety reduction. Smoking a hemp, pre-roll or smoking hemp is a lot like a inhaler for an asthma patient when it comes to anxiety. So that's just one of the ways to administer CBD. what you have there are topicals, and I want to make, I've sold those stores, and so I'm now back home in Georgia, and I've started Catch Some Relief. I'm an avid fisherman. Me and my dad like to fish team tournaments together.
Awesome.
Trying to fish every weekend, honestly. And being with that, I thought, there's not a company really going after the fishing market with a CBD product. So that has hatched Catch Some Relief, so that I could market it towards us. So back in February, I went to the MLF event in Eufaula, and I just gave a lot of gift bags out to the guys, and they were tremendously supportive or nice. Honestly, just regular people to talk to. They weren't too big for themselves, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And that kind of jump started and said, I may have something here. So I started the website, and I've just started guerrilla marketing like I am, with your guys, and offering free products for them to try, because I know that it's going to help with inflammation reduction and anxiety.
By the way, I apologize for interrupting you. We really want to say thanks for, giving us this opportunity to help you spread your products around. We've used them. We gave a review on them. They benefited us both. But yeah, really, you didn't have to do that, man. You know what I mean?
One of the things I noticed in the stores is when someone came in, the first thing I asked them was, what type of symptoms are you presenting? And that got them talking about what was going on with them. I got an L2 vertebrae wrong in my back, or, I've been over and sneezed wrong and threw my back out, or I've got ACL surgery coming up, or, so all the different things. All inflammation is pain. So if you came in the store and you said, hey, I've got inflammation, or I've got pain here, one of the first things I did was walk you over to a topical, and we put it on in the store, or we'd send them to the bathroom if they had it on their knees or their hips or something. And by doing that, within 8 to 12 minutes, they're receiving some reduction. And the first thing they'd say was, I'm not sure if it's really in my head with this happening, and I'm like, no, it's just CBD reducing inflammation. So a CBD topical, and I'd love to tell you that Catch Some Relief products I've got the secret, and it's in my sauce and all of that, but it's really not. CBD topicals have an ethical amount of CBD in them, work well for inflammation reduction when you apply them. So BioFreeze and Icy Hot are literally just changing the sensation of the skin, making you think about that rather than the pain. So, you ever heard, well, my head's hurting. Well, bang your thumb with a hammer and your head will stop hurting. That's basically how BioFreeze and Icy Hot and those products work. A CBD topical actually soaks in, through the skin and reduces inflammation in the spot. So if you have like arthritis inflammation, that's more in the joints, it's going to take a little longer to get to you, to that spot to help. If it's a muscle inflammation, it's a little quicker because it's right there near the skin. So that's how these topicals work. I've gotten kind of callous to it. Like, I can't believe it really helps. And I'm like, yeah, it works. I mean, I use it every day. I have neuropathy in my feet, and, need to eat better, and that would help it. But to get some relief during the night or at the end of the day, I love to put some on my feet and just throw some socks on, and it's unbelievable what it does for you. So, had a headache when I woke up this morning, put some on the base of my neck and on my temples, reduced the inflammation and helped with the headache. So I've even had a guy come in with a toothache. His jaw was swollen up. We rubbed some on his cheek, and he didn't come back in. But like 3 hours later, the dentist came back in and said, what in the hell did you rub on this guy's cheek to reduce inflammation and help with pain?
Right. That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good stuff. And I'm enjoying marketing this to fishermen, because inevitably you start talking about fishing, and if you're an avid fisherman and you love to be out in the outdoors and you want to fish multiple days in a row, or either recover from your fishing trip, this is a great natural way to reduce inflammation without any side effects.
I forgot my cream this weekend, and I was in desperate need of it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the difference between the cream and the stick is basically just beeswax. I put beeswax into the stick to make it a little more heat resistant.
Right.
It still will, you get over 90 degrees, it's still going to liquefy just a little bit. It'll get a little runny, but that just makes it easier to spread on. You just rub it in. I mean, I've even got oil-based roll-on products that you can, just liquid roll on there. So
That's awesome.
You're getting Kyle's wife spun up, man. She is she's already wanting him to get two. So keep going.
Yeah.
well, www.catchfromrelief.com has all the answers there for
That's
you.
right.
You're just a few clicks away and a credit card from having those products on the way. I ship out daily. So if you order, your product goes out the next day. We've got a pro staff. I need to get y'all a coupon code that you can give to your followers, and they can get 15% off, and then I'll kick back some profit towards the show here to help y'all pay for all that expensive equipment that Jeremy's been purchasing lately.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but
very, very much.
Yeah, and we do have a pro staff. If anybody's interested in joining the pro staff, if you promote the product, and we'll do the same for you out there. We're in the process of signing Bobby Lane and Jacob Porosnik, and we've already signed Hunter Fruit. And we're just getting tremendous feedback from everybody. I mean, there's very few people that have complained. I mean, we've had one lady say that she left it in her tackle bag and it got a little bit liquidy, but she was able to salvage it or save it. So again, if it's out in the real extreme heat, it could possibly, liquefy. But if you have it in your truck, and you want to leave it in the truck and have it when you get back,
right,
just leave it sitting up straight, the stick, it won't melt.
There ain't very many of us, even on a kayak, that don't have like a little, a cooler of some sort that'll hold 4 cans of, something like that, or a couple bottles of water or something that size. You know what I mean? So it'll stay
some type of dry
chilly
storage. You know what I mean? To get it out.
Yeah.
This is vodka. I just hide it in a bottle.
I mean, I don't drink when I'm fishing, but I definitely want to drink after I get done.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a big drinker. I prefer to smoke hemp afterwards and feel better. That's another thing. Yeah, a lot of people CBD oil was a big deal. I mean, not to beat up on the Tennessee folks, because I've got an obvious Southern drawl, but those people would come in, they say, "Oh, you have any of that CBD oil?"
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, we do, but I'd like to talk to you about bioavailability before I sell you a CBD oil. Right. Other shops are like, yeah, we've got a 500, 1,000, 1,500, and a 2,000 milligram CBD oil right here. Which one would you like?
Yeah, they're just trying to make a buck.
Right.
Me, I wanted to talk to you about keeping a journal. I wanted to talk to you about what symptoms you have, treating it inside out and outside in,
right.
Getting you in the right product. And, there's no reason to buy a 2,000 milligram strength oil if you're just trying CBD for the first time. You should try a lower dosage amount and just take more, because you need to find your own efficacy level.
That's right.
Everybody's different. I don't know how I process CBD, so I certainly don't know how you process CBD.
Sure.
So it's important for everyone to keep a journal, just like you would starting any other medication. Be your best advocate. Save money on CBD. It's expensive. You don't have to waste it. You can find out what you need for your symptoms. And it's important also to know that you can't hurt yourself. You could take, I have capsules. You could take all 30 capsules at once instead of taking one a day, and it wouldn't hurt you. You may become, a little sleepy, but it wouldn't hurt your body. But I'd love to answer any questions. Also, I mean, I'm big on advocacy and education.
I've got one for you.
Yeah,
go for it.
So I got a question. So for someone like me who doesn't know a lot about CBD, are there benefits to using the CBD, say, cream over like an arthritis cream?
Of course. What is an arthritis cream doing for you?
Well, it's not necessarily me. My wife she's got some issues with her hip, and the doctors are give her cream to put on there and kind of ease some of the pain and stuff like that. But
is it the stuff
probably like hydrocortisone?
Deadens the nerves a little bit to make it not hurt as bad, or what is it?
I'm pretty sure,
because I got some of that kind of stuff for my back, and I feel like it does about the same thing as what his product does. Mm-hmm. Voltaren. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's some kind of cream, but it's like Ambisol for stuff other than your teeth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Basically.
And you probably hydrocortisone or a cortisol or some sort of cream that's a numbing and effect. What CBD does is reduce inflammation. I'd love to be able to get a live muscle and expose it and pummel it, make it swell, and then sprinkle some CBD on top of it, and you could just watch it reduce the inflammation. I mean, I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist, but I just know that it helps people. You know, a story I've got for a guy, he came in and he's like in their 80s, and it's a classic couple, you know, blue hair, the wife's holding on to his elbow as they walk into the store, and I opened the door for him and I said, "Good afternoon, how are you doing, sir?" And he goes, "Urgh." It's basically all he could just grunt. Is really all he could get out.
That sounds like me.
His wife says he's walking with a walker, and his wife says, "Well, he just got his staples out and from back surgery." And so she pulls up his shirt, and he's cut from the base of his neck all the way to his crack. I mean,
man.
Wow.
He had major back surgery. And I'm thinking to myself, why the hell is an 80-year-old going through back surgery like this? But anyway, you know, it's the first hemp dispensary. So it was during the boom of everybody was excited about coming in and, you know, seeing buds in a jar and, you know, having a variety of hemp there to smoke and cannabis to smoke. So that's why he was there. But I said, hey, let's rub some of this on. So his wife rubs the topical on his back, and he gets in line. And by the time he gets up to where he's going to order his hemp, he's up there saying, "I used to love smoking weed when I was a kid." He's rawing and telling jokes, and his wife starts crying. And I said, "Goodness, darling, what's wrong?" And she said, "I haven't seen him like this in months." And you know, that triggered right there. I said, you know, just rubbing a simple cream on gave this guy some pain reduction enough to pull his normal his normal stuff. Yeah, you know, and that was, I mean, it's a very emotional time helping as many people as we did. And like I said, I kind of got calloused with it from helping so many people. You just kind of become like, yeah, no, come on in here, try this, do this, you know, this will work. So if you have questions about it, and if you walk into a store and you're going to buy some CBD and they're like, well, we have this, this, and this, and they don't offer you any kind of endocannabinoid system or some sort of education, I mean, I would be leery. You know, hemp oil is good for your diet, but does nothing to reduce inflammation. So if you see hemp oil on Amazon, because Amazon won't allow you to sell CBD, you're just getting a dietary supplement. You're not getting any kind of inflammation reduction or anxiety reduction.
Gotcha.
So yeah, all you guys out there, while we've got Trinity, you know, questions for him, put them in the comments. That way he can answer them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So throw them.
And we're on all social media. So it's Catch Some Relief on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. catchsomrelief@gmail.com. You can email me directly. I mean, hell, my cell phone number is 770-875-6508. I'm here to answer questions and make people feel comfortable. I want to build a steady customer stream that's confident in the products and continuously buys the products. I mean, that's the goal, not just a flash in the pan and sell you this quick. That's what the convenience stores are wanting to do, and they want cheap products, and it's given CBD a kind of a bad name. So we have to get over that hurdle a little bit.
I think that's the recipe to any business in any aspect of, you know, the world that needs to be successful. Is at the end of the day, the people that buy it and use it got to feel like they didn't just get ripped off.
Right.
Yep. There's a brand of hemp out there. It's called TKO, and it's just low brand. It's just low outdoor grown hemp. And I think they even spray it with something, and it's not effective. And, you know, a lot of these stores that I'm selling to, wholesaling to, they're literally saying, you know, they buy it, but then they don't come back and buy it. You know, that's something I'm proud of. We have great repeat guests, and when we were Tennessee Hemp Supply, we had a lot of repeat customers. That's what was driving the business before I sold it. So that's what I'm building with Catch Some Relief. I want to help you stay on the water longer. You know, CBD products made for fishermen by fishermen.
So we got a couple questions here, awesome. Trinity.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you both of them, and then you can answer them as you do. One is, can you ship over state lines? So can somebody in another state order it? And the second one is, does it show up on a DOT drug test?
Okay. Smoking hemp. Let's start with the second one first, since it's fresh in my mind. And yet the answer to the first one is yes, you can ship all 50 states. It's federally legal with the hemp act signed in 2019 by Trump. So yes, legal to ship it anywhere. The smokable, something, remember, CBD oil and other CBD products, oftentimes, if they're full spectrum, they're going to have less than 0.3% THC. So a DOT drug screen is pretty thorough.
I'm sure.
So this goes back to the effects of CBD. I don't know how you process it. I don't know how you store it. It depends on how much water you're drinking, how much exercise you have, what your diet is, your fat cell content. A lot of things come into play when storing cannabinoids. And you will fail a drug test possibly. It's possible you won't. You won't. Any of the catch and relief products are THC free. They are made with water soluble CBD for the capsules or an isolate, CBD isolate with the topicals. So you can use our products with confidence that you will not fail a drug test. But I find it very interesting that everybody's worried about a drug test, because if you've ever asked, there are an allowable amount of nanograms of THC on a drug test. You have to test above a certain amount of nanograms of THC to fail the drug test. Now,
I've never asked because I've never had, the interest in knowing, because I didn't have a problem passing. You know what I mean?
Well, did you know that you have an endocannabinoid that you produce that is very close to THC that shows on a drug test as THC?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Your body's endocannabinoid system produces endocannabinoids that are very close to cannabinoids that are found in cannabis. So that's the reason there's an allowable amount of nanograms on a drug test.
Gotcha.
So that's why, like, someone who's a runner or, exercises a lot, drinks a lot of water, they can get it out of their system a lot quicker.
Well,
Another thing to think about, and, this goes back to the prohibition of cannabis. You could snort a whole 8-ball of cocaine on Friday night and, Monday morning on a drug test, it's possible you could not test for it at all. It's out of your body in 72 hours.
Right.
You can take a puff on a joint at your brother-in-law's wedding or whatever and hit it a couple of times, and then 30 days later, you could test positive for THC. Now, why is your body holding on to THC like that? Why is it storing THC, and why does it expel alcohol and expel cocaine and get all of those things out of your system as quickly as possible? And the answer is you're feeding your endocannabinoid system. I would argue that some of the healthiest people in this country are people who have been smoking cannabis or taking an ethical amount of CBD oil or, cannabis products.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about just DOT drug tests or drug tests in general, certain energy drinks out there will give you false positives or make you test positive for some type of drugs. I've seen reviews on stuff like that. Do you know anything about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's false positives to everything, and honestly, drug tests are just a way of making money. It's not effective. They're busting people on THC. You can tell the guy that comes in racing on cocaine or is on heroin or is always drunk.
Right.
You're not going to be able to tell that guy smoked a joint the night before unless he fails a drug test. It doesn't impair his work. You don't wake up with a hangover. Your body appreciates it.
Gotcha.
And uses it. So yeah. I think drug tests are not fair. It should not be randomly screened. It should be more of an accident type situation, to find out if they were on anything when the accident happened. And I get it for insurance purposes, but it's just another way of our country, way of the world,
That's why we have such a dedicated police force, is to help pay for those roads and their salaries and everything else that is going on. Right.
Well, that's why we have private prisons too. I mean, as soon as those private prisons don't get their lodging fees, they're complaining. We lock up more of our citizens in this country than in most countries in the whole world. So,
right.
Not that I really want to be caned in public like they do in Bangladesh or Thailand, but
if somebody gets caned across the back or gets their hand chopped off, I guarantee the crime rate for that particular crime would go down
real quick.
It doesn't seem like jail is stopping our crime. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, then.
Oh, but we digress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk fishing or something. Any more
Good conversation.
That was good stuff, though. I mean, I love getting into good, intelligent conversation with somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk to people about it. We had a radio show called Cannabis Powwow with the Hemp Man. I was dubbed the Hemp Man right after we opened the stores up there. We got on the news, and I was walking through Dollar General one afternoon, and this girl's like, "Hey, you're the Hemp Man." I thought to myself, you're damn right, I am the Hemp Man. And
there you go.
Kind of ran with it from there. But
I like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hang out
while we give away?
While we do the giveaway?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So that's our next.
We're about to catch some relief.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
We're talking about a giveaway. So I think Chris is going to call out the lucky people who won.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to go off of their screen names, not their actual names.
We're talking about Instagram screen names. These are the people that got on our Instagram page and they did what they need to do, right? Which is like the 2 accounts and throw some friends up there.
Right. So we're looking Scott 669.
That's right.
Yep. CS Pope 615 and Fun Mama number 4.
Fun Mama.
There you go. Thank y'all very much for following the instructions, going out and doing what you needed to do.
That's right.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. I'm sure Trinity does as well. And we look forward to shipping these guys out to you so that you can have the benefits of them as well. Absolutely.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to give people some product. I'm sure that those 3 individuals will be repeat customers for Catch Some Relief, and they'll believe in the products and trust the source.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we sure appreciate it.
Well, guys, have a good night. I appreciate everybody.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
That's awesome.
All right.
He's just a cool guy.
You can let us know what you think about all that, but I like having the person of the product. I mean, he's like the man, right? He owns the company, and he's sitting here talking to us about it. So, I mean, no better person to interview than him.
Than that guy. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. I think that was a really good conversation. It was really informative for people to, have questions or learn something.
Right.
We learned something, bro. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know much about it, and I don't research it because, I'm not interested in going smoking marijuana or whatever. So, it is what it is. I would love to smoke marijuana. I just don't want to lose my security clearance.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always said this, and Amanda knows this, right? Like if I make it to retirement age,
right,
and somehow I'm actually able to retire,
right,
that's when I'm going to do all the drugs I've never done in my life.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to have a Santa sack full of Viagra and another bag full of all the drugs I've never done. And we're going to Brazil and we're going to get some hookers and we're just going to do whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell her. She don't like it. But I'm that guy who's never done shit. You know what I mean? Like I've never done drugs. I had better things to spend my money on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What
do we got next? What we got next?
Yeah, we'll just move right along because I'm not going to comment on any of that part at the end.
Yeah?
No, not at all.
You gonna get some hookers in Brazil?
No, I'm saying about the whole. I've done my fair share of experimenting with certain things back in my younger days.
I mean, everybody's,
you know what I mean?
led a different path, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it is.
So, moving right along, we'll just go on to you know what I mean? So we're going to do the NAKA Weiss Lake recap. Dun, dun, dun.
Boom. There it is. Event recap.
Yeah, there you go. So, Kyle.
Yes.
You haven't talked a whole lot here lately, so we need to get your lips moving, man. You know what I mean?
Right. Trinity says, thanks, everyone. He did not exhale in college.
Yeah.
Exhale.
Yeah.
I didn't inhale. No, he didn't exhale.
Exhale.
Right. That's good stuff.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is good stuff. Excuse me. Kyle.
I guess I got some people that are interested in my plan. I'm sorry.
What's your plan?
They're like, I want to go.
Oh, to the Brazil plan? Yeah. I'm in.
What's up? Joseph Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, asking Kyle if we need to go back to Weiss Lake and get a scuba mask.
You know, I actually thought about that. There was, if it wasn't so far away, that phone had a full battery.
Well,
So I was really thinking about going back there that next night, standing on the dock and calling my phone and
Right.
trying to see if it would light up. The phone was waterproof.
Ugh.
So
Well, I
it
mean,
was only
For like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Up to 10 meters, 30 minutes, something like
Yeah,
that. I think that's
something.
what they are.
I mean, it may have lit up.
Right.
Something. I don't know. But yeah, no, I definitely, Joseph, I appreciate you hanging out and letting me follow you through those windy. I had no earthly idea. Where
Oh,
I
you
was
followed
at.
him out of there because
I-
you were lost as a.
I had no
Man.
GPS. I had nothing.
Yeah.
And he was the only other kayaker there, I'm pretty sure, at that ramp. And he was super cool dude, came up to me and talked to me. And I told him what happened and asked him, I was like, hey man, you know, which way are you getting out of here? So he told me, and I was like, you mind if I follow you? I have no idea where I'm at. He was super cool guy.
Joseph,
So I
you
appreciate it.
awesome.
Joseph, you can be honest. You're laughing the whole way out of this.
Oh
whole
man,
thing, you
you've
know?
been.
Oh, I'm
I got
sure.
this, dude.
Absolutely.
I-
Absolutely.
I would have been laughing at me. Like that area we were in, I was just waiting to hear banjos start playing. Like it was so like, oh man, I had no, everything looked the exact same. I went through downtown Scottsboro twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
that's not fun.
Just
It's like, hey, wait a minute. I've been here before.
Yeah.
yeah.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
And I had I was like, oh, I've seen this. I'm good. And then I realized that no, I just did a big circle.
Yeah. I just saw this again.
Yep.
Yeah. Deja vu is not cool when you don't have your GPS. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Deja vu in a new canoe.
Deja vu in a new canoe. How do you do?
Right. Trinity says he should have said something. He dropped 2 phones in 2 months back in 2016. The last one floated down like a spoon,
Oh no.
but it was cold as hell, and he wasn't jumping in.
right.
I've done that,
Ooh.
but I went in.
You did go into some pretty cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going in like 40-degree water for my brand new rattle trap.
Yes, that's exactly what popped in my mind.
I mean, that meme where dude's like neck deep in water
Yeah.
holding his rod out. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
me because
that was
I'm
him.
like, I just bought that thing and I love rattle traps. So yeah, no, I wasn't letting it go.
We were at what? Second Creek?
Yeah, Second Creek.
Second Creek down near the Shoals area, going towards the Shoals, down 72 if you're from Huntsville.
I got
or-
small balls, so water doesn't
I mean,
matter.
you know, well, check it out. There's this. If we were bank fishing at that point, we didn't have kayaks, we didn't have a boat, whatever. We were just bank fishing. So we went down there and we're fishing from the bank. Well, there's this huge rock ledge that comes out that you can't really see. And Jeremy ties on this brand new rattle trap. Yeah. And it gets hung up on this rock ledge. And he's like, bro,
Hell to the no.
hell to the no.
Ah,
I'm not losing this rattle trap.
no.
I'm like, bro, that's like 15 feet away from where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not losing this rattle trap.
I just paid like $12.99. It was
Yeah.
like Strike King Red Eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No.
and for real, it's like,
You know what I'm talking about,
I know
don't you?
exactly
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
it's
We're
flat.
going into water.
Right.
Yeah, it's flat chilly outside, you know, and you know the water's cold.
Oh no, it's cold.
It's straight cold. And here he goes. My bro, he's out there following the line down in the water, holding just like the meme that you see, holding the rod up like this above the water, and he gets the cotton pick trap loose. And I'm just like, man, if I was smarter than that, you know, than what I actually am, I would have been able to video that and we could watch that shit today.
Oh hell.
Well, you know, missed opportunity.
Thanks, Pops. I'm glad you're here to join us. I thought you'd be sleeping.
Hey, Pops.
I said I had small balls, so the cold water didn't matter.
Yeah.
Trinity says he has big balls, and the water wasn't shrinking those. That was what I should have said, man.
Yeah, there
That's
you
a
go.
way better response.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah, Chris Mark says that Joseph Pope also signed him out of the tournament, checked him out of the tournament because
He
he
did.
didn't have a phone
Yeah,
to do
He
it.
did. And
That's
I had-
cool,
Yeah.
man.
I had no idea what was going on. I'm following him out of this windy road. We finally get on a little stretch, and there's a church on the left-hand side, and he's, you know, slowing down.
Oh,
I
shit.
see him put his hand out the window, pointing to pull over.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, like he said he was going to Scottsboro. Like, I hope something didn't come up and I got to figure this out the rest of the way.
Right.
And he was like, hey man, did you check out of the tournament?
Oh,
And I was like,
We're good.
yeah. I was like, well, I checked in. I was like, I can't check out though. So he called Chris right there in the parking lot, and Chris had him text it. And yeah,
No,
that was not my best of trips
no, man.
at all. But
Joseph-
it could have been a lot worse.
Joseph, man, that's cool, man. That's, you know, if any of you guys are out there and you've watched all these shows that we've been doing, we're now on our 10th episode, which, I mean, I think is amazing. You know what I mean? We keep growing with popularity. It's just epic to me. But we were talking to, episode 6, maybe episode 5, where we were at the kayak store with Tony. And he's talking about it's a kayak community,
Yep.
you know, and we're here to help each other out.
Mhm.
That is a perfect example of how the kayak community is. You know what I mean? You saw another guy who's out there doing the same thing that you're doing, another fellow angler, kayak angler, in need, and you helped him out. You even thought to, help him check out of the tournament on the Trinity X app. You know, I mean, that's the type of community that kayak angling is.
Oh yeah, because
100%.
I totally would
100%.
Yeah.
totally would have been screwed.
Yeah, absolutely. Most folks.
And boaters, I mean, I'm not going to say that they wouldn't care, but most time they're in a little bit more of a hurry.
Right.
Well, and it's
Well,
a
they
lot
got a
harder
different
to
agenda,
see if
you know what I
somebody
mean?
needs your help at 80 miles
Right.
an hour. So yeah.
And if you saw
But-
a bass boat just floating, you wouldn't be like, oh, he must have lost his phone. You've been like, oh, I got a free boat.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's the type of community. I'm searching for the right word and I can't come up with
Camaraderie.
it. Camaraderie. There you go. Good job. That we have in this type of community that makes it even better than what it is. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Absolutely awesome.
It wasn't actually the battery. The camera just sometimes I think it's the metadata between the camera and the computer, but it just freezes. So I reset it. But that wasn't the battery. If it goes black, let me know just in case. But I try to see it.
Be like, hey.
Yeah, I do have it. I got another battery. I bought it at lunch. It's charged now, but it won't happen next week.
GUD good right there,
Yeah.
brother. GUD good.
But we got Dad, we got Ryan, we got Melinda, Maz on. We got the whole Iowa crew.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
That's what y'all are dubbed now, the Iowa crew.
Iowa crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dad, I mean, we could call it the Roger Rabbit crew
Well, we could.
because he always calls me, down here, the Rooster crew.
Yeah.
But his name's Roger, and his nickname was Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Oh yeah, Chris Mark says, on Wise, did y'all have ABT anglers casting over you, or were they cool with you? I had a mix of both. I had a boat drive between Chris and I,
Yeah.
who were only 50 feet apart, if that,
Right.
and cast 6 foot from my kayak.
Oh, wait a minute. Tell them the story about going under the bridge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we went under this little it's like
Causeway.
it's a causeway, but the little cement thing that goes under the water or that allows water to flow. I don't know what that's called.
Like a drainage?
Yeah, it's like a
bridge
drainage
or
thing.
something
But
like
I
that?
swear it is literally 6 inches on each side of a 20-foot bass boat with its talons. Or what's the one that
Power
folds
poles.
up? Power poles. He had to drop them almost to where they were dragging just to get through there, trim the motor, do all kinds of things.
They're getting down.
I did
into
not
the-
believe that boat was going to fit because it was tight in my kayak.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that boat's fitting through there.
With a kayak paddle, I couldn't paddle.
You just got to glide.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
I
no,
couldn't
you'd hit the
paddle.
walls.
You hit the wall.
Just trying to
12-foot paddle.
Yeah.
just glide through there without paddling.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you gotta like, touch the wall and then, kind of angle it to where it didn't
Yeah.
hit both sides at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So how that boat, it made it through there.
I don't know.
It was
I think he
amazing.
did it just to be a dick.
I wasn't going to say that, but that's exactly what I was thinking.
I had
'Cause
motors.
he
all
goes-
over.
Jeremy goes,
Where y'all going?
where you guys going? And he goes, I was just going to get by you to get through there because we're going to go fish it. And the dude in the boat was like, no, we're going through it.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, oh,
That thing
Ah.
will fit through there. I can't believe that thing will fit through
Right.
there. And I'm just looking at here in amazement. I'm like, what? We've been back in this little spot before, and it's like from
It's
2
tiny.
feet to 8 inches of water depth.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It's stupid shallow.
and it's only about a football field
100
long, 100 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't far,
No.
and it may be 100 yards wide,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
But I was amazed. I didn't think it'd fit.
They,
I mean, they literally went in, turned right, and that was the deepest part of the whole little area we were in, and that's where they stayed. And then they left.
right. They were back there 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Whatever.
I apologize, Kyle.
Oh, you're good.
We digress.
We hijacked your story, bro.
I did have a boater apologize to me though.
Oh
Like,
man.
Really?
He did. It was the only one. Like there were boats everywhere. The boats weren't so much the problem. Is the pontoons and the ridiculous amount of jet skis that were all over the place. And one thing I've noticed is a lot of people on jet skis don't seem to care how close they get to you. But I had a boater.
Most of the time, they don't.
They don't.
No.
But I had one boater, and at this point, I still hadn't caught a fish. And I'm reaching. Like, I'm looking around, like, I'm talking to myself. Well, this
Right.
boat shuts down probably about 20 yards from me, maybe a little less. The guy shuts down. I'm fishing. And at this point, I'm really not even all the way there. I'm just trying to think of what else I can do. So I'm just muscle memory, cast reel.
Yeah.
And I see he shut down pretty close to me. We made eye contact because I looked at him because
Was
in
it
the back of
sensual?
my mind, part of me was like, does this guy not see me here? Like, I'm fishing too, man. Like,
did you guys?
we did. We had a moment.
Did you bling
We had
or
a moment.
whatever?
We
It's a
did.
Transylvania Hotel.
We did. So then, like, I'm fishing. He's coming down this bank line, and I hear, hey. And I'm like, oh no, he's not gonna try and dude,
Start some shit.
Yeah, like I've been sitting here, and I turn around and I look at the guy, and he goes, "Hey, I apologize, man. I didn't see you there. We're gonna cruise on down this bank line, man. We're not gonna bother you." And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, shit, I just want to see what you're using. Like,
I'm happy there's somebody else here. It makes me think this is a good spot.
Yeah.
like,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm dying for a fish right now, man.
Right.
But he was really cool. They cruised on down the bank line, and they didn't bother me. But the pontoons and all the jet skis, man,
Oh, yeah.
it was a nightmare.
I mean, I don't. Jet ski. If you're riding a jet ski, you're wanting to like hit the wakes and have some fun and go fast and do all that stuff. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, you're not blind.
Right.
You see a dude in a kayak fishing, and you're gonna be like, "Woo!" right by, right by him,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a dick move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I'm in the boat, like if I'm not in the kayak and I'm out in the boat, I give someone their space. I don't care if I'm in a tournament or not. I'm not going to fish. You got to have courtesy on the water. You can't just cut someone off on a grass line or, if they're fishing down the bank and their boat's facing that way,
Right.
you don't go cut in 30 yards ahead of them and,
Do the same thing.
right. I mean, it doesn't matter if someone's in a kayak, if they're in a bass boat, like you got to have courtesy for other guys out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And some people just don't have
So
that.
Sky has a good question here,
Yeah. What's
and
that?
Kyle experience in boats and kayaks
Boats and
because
hoes?
That's the first thing
that
came to
too.
mind.
I mean, he's got plenty of
Oh,
experience there. A question he saw on Facebook group
Don't
is:
kill me, Bethany. It's
If-
just a joke.
if a boat or a jet ski is going to pass you on a lake or river,
Mhm.
slow or fast to get it done, how would you like them to do it?
In my opinion, and I've noticed this, and I noticed this also on Weiss. If a bass boat is going to go by me, I would rather him. Well, as long as he's not ridiculous.
I mean, as wide a berth as possible. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
I would rather them go by fast than them go by slow because when they go by slower, they create a lot bigger of a wake.
That's true. But if they go by super fast and they're 20 feet away,
Oh yeah,
That's
then that's
completely
different.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it don't
no,
matter, right?
No,
Like,
yeah,
give me a little space.
That's
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Space is the biggest thing for me. You know what I mean?
yeah. As long as you got
There's no girls here tonight, guys. Sorry, but we'll tell them you said hi, and if they're watching, they can
I know
say
Shannon's
something.
watching. I
But
just texted her. She said yes. She said,
okay,
by the way, she said that we sound good and the video is really good. So
Perfect.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
I'm sure Amanda's with her watching. You know what I mean?
so I not to like interrupt too much, but we worked on, I purchased, and then we all worked on like making sound and video and lights and everything look good. But if you like all this, that's all the wife.
Yeah, she's done amazing.
I make things work. She makes them pretty. Okay. That's like our deal. I build it. She makes it look good.
You both have done, you and her both have done an amazing job with.
Shannon was definitely here. I'm
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With an amazing job of how we've transformed from episode 1 to episode 2. I mean, if you guys want to see the transformation, go back. What's up?
No, I said you're right.
Oh, I thought you said hang on.
No, you're
My
right.
bad. Go back and watch episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah, we're leaning over the kayak,
Yeah,
and you can't even hear us.
right. And then watch tonight's episode 10.
Right.
And you will see a huge difference.
Oh, it ain't even. You can't even compare.
Huge.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it's exactly huge. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's we're all progressing. You know what I mean. And it's
a little better every time. Try to make it a little better.
It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And we want to thank y'all for coming in here every week, tuning in, asking questions, participating. Because again, that's what this whole thing's all about.
That's what it's all about.
100%. Without you guys, we're not here.
Well, I mean, we're here to talk to y'all. It's like, this is our opportunity to talk to people that we haven't talked to all week.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're going to talk about fishing. We're going to talk about kayaking. We get you to get in here and talk to us.
Right.
I love it.
So we've got to have participation on both sides, though. You know what I mean? There's got to be people out there.
That's an easy one.
What's that?
Well, hold on a second. I'm going to read it like Kevin wrote it. And I'm going to say that I've never caught a clothed bass, so I don't know if I've ever caught a stripped bass.
Oh,
but
a stripe.
But I know he's talking about stripe. I'm just giving you crap. Striped bass to me, where's the best place you caught a striped bass? And I'm going to say below the Pickwick Dam or in that little creek back on the southeastern end of Gunnersville. Were you and me?
Right below.
Oh, no.
You caught like 15 striped bass?
Oh, no.
What?
We got on
Wheeler.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. That was a good day.
Every day for like a week.
Yeah. I forgot.
With rattle traps standing from shore.
Flooded. It was flooded.
We stood on the boat ramp.
We caught them on the ramp. On the ramp. Yeah.
Every day for about a week to 2 weeks. We wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, we were catching probably at least within a matter of 2 hours, at least 20 to 30 each.
Yeah. I mean, it was like every other cast.
Yeah.
My elbow with a rattle trap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was it. It didn't even matter what color.
Right.
Nope. Throw it in there.
Fast as you could reel it.
Right.
Every single
and they were
time.
Good size.
Yeah.
Good size stripe.
All of them.
We had a pretty good day.
That was on Wheeler on the back of Gunnersville.
Right below the Pickwick Dam.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. We went out with a buddy of mine, Jeremiah Back. If you're out there watching.
That's right. Man. That's right.
Giggy, which is a buddy of his. We went out on a pontoon boat and it was right at 5 o'clock, 5:30. We went out there around 3:30 and we were fishing the exact same spot, doing the exact same thing. And we weren't getting dick. We weren't getting hit. We weren't getting any fish, nothing like that. We came back right at sunset, in the fall time frame. And bam, bam, bam. It's like they started a feeding frenzy or something like that, man. And we were catching them left and right. But I mean, that was only one day. That's not as cool as catching them for 2 weeks straight. You know what I mean? Where you end up getting tennis elbow from.
That is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
My elbow killed me for like a month or two after that.
Yeah.
It was horrible, but it was worth it.
Yeah. I bet it was.
It was worth it. It was fun.
So go ahead.
Did you have something else on that point?
No,
you're going to hit something else?
I was going to try to get back to Kyle's recap of Weiss because we kind of digressed.
Oh. Yeah. There really ain't a whole lot to talk about.
Caught a couple fish.
Yeah, literally a couple. Yeah. That was it.
Chris caught a couple.
I caught a couple, but I got
a couple better than my couple.
I caught one.
Your one was better than my couple almost.
My one was barely legal. 12 and a half inches.
I had an 8 1/4.
And they allowed it?
Yeah.
It was just
Oh.
over. It's
As
got
long
to be
as it
steak.
measures on that hog trough.
Are you married to the board or what?
I prayed a little bit before I put him on the board.
they allow the short ones to ride too.
Yeah. When I pulled that thing out of the water, I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be close."
Yeah. But I got a funny little story from my experience on Weiss this past weekend.
Remind me to ask this question that Jimmy Skinner asked.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go ahead and do that, and we can come back to that later.
Trinity, if you're still on the show, there's some people asking about that coupon code. If you wanted to drop it in the comments, if not, I'll have to check last week's episode.
It was last week. He did give us a coupon code.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still on, but he talked about it this episode, and I don't know if he's going to drop it or
She
not.
is
But
not wasting no time.
no, your wife is hungry for
She
it.
is on it.
Anyway,
Yeah. Sorry. Do you want me to go ahead and do my little story? real quick?
yeah,
Okay.
man, I don't mean to keep interrupting.
No, you're good. I mean, it's, as we're doing this live, we're getting comments live. This is unscripted. You know what I mean? So we're kind of imprompting this back and forth. So y'all, if you've watched this show before, you know how we do this. Anyway, real quick.
It sounds and looks professional now, but that doesn't mean we're professionals.
No, there's nothing about us professional.
That's not. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. So I'm texting Jeremy, and I'm like, this water's crap. I'm going to go back towards the ramp. I'm going to go try to find a slough that we pass on the way in, whatever, so that maybe you can kind of calm down, try to focus on fishing, whatever.
Most definitely.
I'm coming around this curve, and again, everybody knows that was there. There was 200 whatever boats. They were all over the place. There was recreational boats. There was jet skis, all that jazz. So I'm coming around this curve, and I'm going around these guys on a boat, and I'm like, "Hey man, is it cool to kind of come around you or whatever?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, come on." All right, so this dude is standing on the front of the boat, right? And he threw up against the seawall, and he's kind of reeling in. And the next thing I see, he comes 6 inches, jumps straight up 6 inches off the front of that boat and sets the hook into this fish. I mean, the expression on his face, bro, was, "Oh my God, I got a fish." You know what I mean? He was so surprised that it just completely just took him off guard. And,
I mean, tell me you weren't in the same mindset.
I mean,
We were just, cast after cast for hours.
I agree.
For hours. And I finally got a bite at 10:30. I was like, oh shit, it's a fish.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I have never in my life seen somebody jump out of a boat
Right.
straight up into the air to set the hook.
That is pretty funny.
It is funny, man. And if you guys could have saw his face, he was just like, "Oh my God," which is awesome. That's why we love fishing, right?
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the fun part of the story, whatever. The bad part of the story is he's into this fish. He's setting the hook. He's bringing it up.
Oh.
This is probably a 3-pound largemouth because it comes and jumps up out the water 3 feet out of the water. All right. And he's flipping and flopping around, and I get a glimpse of this fish, and I'm like, "Wow, that's a pretty good fish."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the dude, you can see it on his face. He's just, oh, it's a good one. You know what I mean? This is not a dink. This is not a 12-incher guy. You know what I mean? This is like a good fish. Yeah. And so the fish goes back into the water, and he's trying to work his rod around, and get him over there. Well, I'm glad I don't know these guys' names because I wouldn't want to do that to him. His partner, they apparently didn't think far enough in advance to get the net out of the dry storage area.
Within all the excitement.
Yeah, So his partner's over there opening up the dry storage. You know what I mean? He's trying to get the net out. He gets it all out while the guy up front's working this thing, and he brings him around to the other side of the boat. Well, as he's doing that, the partner's getting over there and getting down, getting ready to, to net this fish. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know if the partner hit the line or what happened. But the next thing I know, his bent rod goes boing. And he goes, "Line, bro." And his partner just has this face on him. You know what I mean? He's just got one of these.
I'm about to get my butt kicked.
Yeah,
I'm about to get a new ride as
He
well.
is fixing to kick him into the water. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
It was just one of those type of deals. But that story is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. You know
It
what I mean?
happens though.
Because you go from super excited, got a fish on, fishing, jumping out of the out of the water into the air, to going to net it, and it's gone.
Yep.
It's just like that. 30 seconds, and it's gone.
You had one chance.
You had one chance, bro.
The
You
guy
had
with the
one
net,
job,
the
bro.
guy with the net had one job.
You had one job, bro.
One job. Yep.
So yeah,
Catfish can be pretty heartbreaking too. When you catch a catfish on a crankbait or
and you think it's a
spinnerbait,
massive
you
bass.
think you just hooked into Godzilla.
I got a new late record.
Yeah,
right.
and up comes a 30-pound flathead.
Yeah.
that can be pretty.
Or like your
Pretty
dad on a spinnerbait catching a
Oh.
literally 30-pound carp.
Oh man,
That thing was massive.
that was
Scott, for your information, Chris and I do have walkie-talkies.
We do. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
We're just not very good at either one of us bringing them at the same time. Either I forget or he forgets. You know.
I forget a lot.
You want to do you got any stories for Weiss recap or anything like that? Or you just
I cried a little.
cried a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got pretty frustrated. I was about to. I literally just paddled away. I just started paddling until I got a blister on my hand because I felt like I was going to hurt somebody. Like I was in that mode where if one more person cast right next to my kayak, I was going to fucking board their boat and take it over like a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the captain.
Yeah. Like I was like, I got my hatchet.
Yeah.
I can do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was mad, bro.
Yeah.
The events of things that had happened and transpired that whole day, I was not focused. My brain was not in it, and my body started hurting. And then I just quit. I quit because I only had one fish and I couldn't focus. So it was not a good day of fishing for me.
Right.
But I caught a fish, didn't go out with a 0.
Right.
I mean, that was a good thing to do. So we got home or not home, but we went to the resort, hung out, had some good food, got a beard trim and a head shave by my awesome wife.
Yeah.
Because, this crap that's going on, my barber that normally does it can't do it and hasn't been doing it for like 2 months. That's why I look like a homeless man in the past couple episodes.
By the way, is it cool to throw a plug in here for the resort that we were at?
I mean, if you feel like it deserves it,
I do.
get after it then.
So we stayed at Chestnut Bay Resort down on Lake Weiss.
Scott asked me about it. He goes, that place is freaking gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. And Scott, the rooms the houses are fantastic.
Yeah, they're full blown houses. They're not
They're not
crappy little cabins
No.
or whatever. They were nice.
Yeah, you can rent pontoon boats, you can rent jet skis. Now you better bring some money if you want to do that because it's kind of expensive.
$1 a minute.
$1 a minute. You know what I mean? So 2 jet skis for an hour is $120.
Half the price of phone sex, and you get twice the amount of fun.
I mean, hey, you know what I mean?
You ever seen a sad person on a jet ski?
No.
Exactly.
You ever seen a sad person on Pornhub?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's been a couple.
Yeah.
But it's the damn resort, y'all fuckers. The damn resort is awesome, man. I'm glad that we found it. I thought it was a great weekend. I thought that it was a lot of fun. After the tournament, I know Jeremy and I both were pretty exhausted from fighting all that water all day and all that shit. But
Chris Mark said he saw 2 people trying to boat a fish and lost them.
yeah,
He says he always brings a net.
yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
I always now bring my net, or I should say I always had a net, but now I have the really good one with the rubberized net, so your hooks don't stick.
Mhm.
Man, I love that thing. Go to the kayak store, see Tony Dean.
100%.
But now I actually I grab it every time I have a fish,
Mhm.
and it's only because I've had epic fish on, and go to bring it towards the kayak, and the bait goes flying.
Mhm.
And the fish goes away, and I'm like, why did I grab the net?
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah. Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I've had it happen. I mean, some of the biggest fish I've ever caught don't even fight until they get next to the kayak or next to the boat. When you hook them,
Oh, yeah,
you're
they
fighting
freak
them,
out.
and they're just kind of coasting towards
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And you think, I got maybe a little 2-pounder.
That's a dink.
Nothing big.
Yeah.
and you get that thing next to the boat, suddenly you see an 8-pound head,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
it
yeah.
kicks it into overdrive. Had you had the net in your hand,
Right.
you would have got it.
Right.
But sometimes, they just play possum, and then they kick it into high gear.
That's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what happened on
Them
the
bug eyes. See that kayak?
That's exactly what happened with me and the personal,
Yeah, man.
my personal best fish.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Gunnersville, and the fish started swimming towards the kayak.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy was there with me.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the next thing I know,
That's about the hardest thing to catch too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this fish goes underneath my kayak.
Oh,
And the next thing I know, I'm like this, just reeling in, thinking I got like a 1.5 pound fish. To going, holy crap. My whole kayak bent over like this, and I thought I was about to go into drink.
What's going on, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy.
Melinda has a little bit of a very short story.
Yeah.
Her dad was at a catfish tournament, and the weather turned bad, and the wake was close to 3 feet. Right. So he got somewhat close to the bank, and the waves sunk his boat, lost all the electronics, but he saved all the fish he had for the morning weigh-in.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a silver lining there, I guess. I think I'd rather have my boat than the fish.
Yeah.
But,
how much was the prize?
I mean,
Was it a new
at
boat?
that point, I don't think it would matter.
I probably wouldn't have hung around.
I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like if it's catfish tournament, it's not a bass boat.
True.
You know what I mean?
Catfish
Most people
boat.
just go out and, catfish tournament. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Catfishers, I'm not trying to like say that you don't buy nice shit. I'm just saying like most of the time people go out catfish tournament. It's, it's a different kind of boat.
It is.
It's like a mud boat or, something with a different kind of setup.
Yeah. It was definitely a different type of setup. We're a different type of fish.
Me and Dante, my oldest son, almost entered a kayak or a catfish tournament by mistake. We were trying to fish a tournament out of Wheeler. It was a bass tournament, just a regular wildcat throw together. Saw it on Facebook or something. We get to the ramp. I see the trucks. So I'm like, okay, over there, pay the entry, find out, what time weigh-in is. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm getting ready. And I'm, it's early in the morning. It's still dark out, so I'm not all the way there. And then I kind of start looking around. And I'm like, these boats look different. Like something doesn't feel right. And then I look at the back window of one of the guy's trucks, and it's a big catfish decal.
Right.
So I go ask the guy. I was like, "Is this a bass tournament?" And he was like, "No, buddy.
You hit the wrong joint."
He goes, "This is the wrong group." I'm like, "Oh." Let me get that entry back.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
he was really cool about it. The tournament I was supposed to, those people weren't there yet. They didn't show up for like another 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
You just paid the dude and got in the water.
About to get in the
Oh,
water.
Lord.
I didn't know catfish tournaments were a thing down
Come
here.
on, bro.
I'd never heard of one down here.
What?
Ever.
Catfish? Heard of them.
You're in the South.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I'd
I'm
never
saying.
seen one before.
Oh, shit.
I'd never seen it.
You learned something that
I would have
day.
been
Right.
in for a big disappointment at the weigh-in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got 17 pounds of bass. Well, that don't
Yo.
make you no good around
They'd
here.
have been like, guys, don't tell him he's special.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean?
When I get to the weigh-in and I look at who's winning, and there's like 300-pound bag winning.
Oh,
Like,
Lord.
oh yeah, you got a 300. Something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Something is a little bit different going on right about now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
What you got?
So I'm going to go back to this question that Jimmy asked.
Please do.
All right. I didn't want to like say it wrong, so I wanted to go up there. It's a really short question. What are some of our goals for this show in the future?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. So this is coming from a guy who I see on another podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
video podcast, and they do it like, I mean, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, but I've seen where you guys are talking to people that are fishing live. That's not something we've done, and that's something Kevin asked, and I skipped right over it because I hadn't gotten to that point yet.
Right.
Maybe that's something in our future. I don't know, but like we're not trying to copy somebody else. We're doing our own thing.
Right.
But it would be cool to talk to somebody who was fishing while we're talking. You know what I mean? Like pipe them in their phone. I don't know, but
Yeah.
what's some of your goals, bro,
Well,
for this
I mean,
show? What do you think? Where do you see us in, the future?
Well, I mean, I think, our intro kind of gives the basics of the show. We're here to give a common name to the normal kayak angler. We're here to go over what?
I was reading a comment by my brother.
Oh. What's up, Ryan?
We're Dad, he said Jeremy and I have been Titanic by the old man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in a canoe going down the river.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Arrgh!" Wham, sideways, boom, in the water.
Well,
Done.
the first time that we went to Iowa, we almost dropped a pontoon boat.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just got a little bit too heavy on the front end.
It happens.
Yeah. But the goal here is, we're just trying to communicate with guys. We want to get people involved. We're trying to share our experiences with everybody. Let you guys share your experiences with us all over an adult beverage and have a good time and make the kayak community fun and enjoyable for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I see. Now, where we go in the future, I mean, don't get me wrong. From episode 1 to episode 10, we have made
Leaps and bounds.
Drastic changes. Did I ever think we'd get this far? Hell no. I didn't know where we were going. We came up with an idea. We thought it would be cool. We thought people would like it.
Right.
We've had people tell us that they thought that we were funny, that we would be enjoyable on camera. And this is something that we're all passionate about. You know what I mean? We all we all have a love for fishing. So we just kind of came up with the idea and kind of ran with it.
Fuck those beavers.
You know what I mean? So
Pounders.
where we go, I mean, yeah, there's probably certain goals out there. Do I want to divulge that right now? Probably not, because I want that to be sort of a surprise. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? And some of the things that we may accomplish, I don't know. We've went leaps and bounds from where we started 10 episodes ago.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Who's to say in episode 20 we won't be leaps and bounds from where we are right now? So I know I didn't really answer your question so much, Jimmy. So don't hate me for that. But
I mean,
what do you think, bro?
my eyes are like my stomach. They always think they can do more than they actually can until I get into it. And then I start, I kill myself with research and trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing and the right setup, the right equipment, same as fishing. I do the same thing in fishing. I research baits. I try to make sure I got the right setups for everything. Okay. Because I won't say that I hate failure. Okay. Failure is, in my mind, I've never failed because I've never really quit. I've learned what not to do a lot of times. Right. And that's usually one of the most valuable lessons that you can ever learn in your life. I feel like most people really learn something only 2 ways in their life, and that's pain or embarrassment. And being a military instructor and teaching people how to do things, that's kind of how I went about teaching lessons too. I would, embarrass people because I couldn't hurt them. But so where do I see the show? Well, I see other shows. I already know we're a little different. Okay.
But that's what we want.
We're a little different. That's what I like.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be the same.
Right.
I like being different. I like going after a different corner of the niche. Okay. And I think that we can do it. I think that this show could get to the point where we get paid to do it. I think affiliate links and, dropping people like Venom or like Catch Some Relief, or at some point, the people that pay good money to do that kind of stuff, because they realize the value of this kind of marketing.
Right.
And my brain is all over that.
With social media, the invention of social media, nothing's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just Facebook Live.
Right.
Honestly, I apologize right now, but it should be live right now on Facebook Live and YouTube Live.
Right.
I don't know why it's not, and I can't troubleshoot it in the middle of the show. So I will figure it out, and next week it will be on both platforms. We'll be live on Facebook Live, and we'll be live on YouTube Live, because I feel like that's important. We're trying to reach as much of an audience as we can afford to reach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I see a lot of big plans for our future. It's just how quickly we can reach those goals. But
Right.
you know, right now we're small. We're talking. We're just trying to improve a little bit each time.
Right.
How do we make our content a little better? How do we make the video a little better? We've made the audio from last episode to this episode. I mean, like, I feel like it's going to be hard to improve on this audio.
Right.
Okay. So, you know,
we
pick it apart and make a game plan. That's where I see ours.
We talked about it earlier. Just improve a little bit every day, every week. Just improve a little bit every week. Just keep moving forward. Just keep stepping forward. Just keep progressing. And you'll get to where you want to be. You know what I mean?
That's right. At some point, people will be asking us to be on the show instead of us asking them.
Yeah. And that's
what I want. I want people to talk to us because I want to learn what that person has to say.
Absolutely. And,
right? I want to share that wealth. Like Jeremy Self.
That's not a vanity thing. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
That
makes us all better.
Yeah, that's an educational thing. You know what I mean? If I can learn what you learn and you learn what I learned, that makes us both better people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Both better fishermen. And again, that's what this show started from. You know what I mean? It's
he says you don't know success if you've never known failure.
Agreed.
100% true.
100%. Yeah, you will fail 9 times before you succeed twice.
And I'm okay with that.
100%.
That's why you really can't call it a failure, though.
Don't
if it's a learning.
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
The only true failure is quitting.
Right. And I struggled with that.
Yep.
I mean, if we're getting real, let's just get real. I struggled with that for a long time in my life. If I did something and I wasn't good at it, I considered myself a failure. And that bothered me from a mental standpoint. But as I got older and I learned and I talked to some people, I learned that if you don't do as well at something, it's not necessarily a failure. It's a learning experience. And you can learn from that and move forward and become better. It took me a while to get to that point. But hey, you know what? I got to that point. You know what I mean? I'm, again, getting another step every day, getting better every day. You know what I mean? Just come out. Hell, Nick Saban, if you're an Alabama football fan or any kind of a football fan, if you can't appreciate Nick Saban as a coach, then you don't know football. I mean, I'm an Alabama fan, but you don't have to be an Alabama fan to appreciate Nick Saban.
Right.
Because he is one hell of a coach.
I will say that.
He is one hell of a coach.
Absolutely.
And that's what he preaches to his players. Get better every day. What do you bring to the table every day?
You know what it was for me, bro?
What's that?
I think you've seen my little idea file on my phone. I think I've talked to you about it. I've showed it to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got sick and tired of like having all these ideas, right? And I think they're good ideas, obviously, because I came up with them. But other people maybe think they're good ideas too. And, you know, some of them people don't think they're good ideas. But I'm tired of having ideas and not taking action on them.
Right.
I mean, that was kind of, you know, we were on the bike. We were in the MC, right?
Yeah.
And I left that and I didn't really know what to do with my energy. Right. And we started fishing.
Right.
And I was like, you know what, man, this makes me happy. Right. Like, why not try to be the best fisherman that I can be?
Right.
And you do things and you work on things, even at work or fishing or podcasts. It doesn't matter what it is. If you do it and you're working on it, you see ways to improve upon it.
Right.
And if you don't take action on that, well, then you're just going to be stuck in your own ways.
Right.
And I got tired of it. I just got tired of it. I'm like, I'm going to build the things that nobody else builds because it works for me. Invention is like, it's brought about by necessity.
Right.
You know what I mean? I need something. I can go buy it. Nope. Has it. I guess I got to make it.
Right.
But if we're going to do this thing, why not do it the best of our abilities?
Right.
Right. And that's kind of what brought this about. Like, people in the past have been like, hey man, you guys are funny. You know what I mean? And I don't think you really get that unless we just go straight off the top of the dome and we get rid of the script and we just sit here and drink and talk and, you know what I mean? Have fun. We're trying to give content, but we're trying to throw our personality in there too.
Right.
You know, even my wife and your girlfriend, hey, you guys should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a great idea, but it's still only an idea unless somebody takes action.
Right.
So that's where we're at. We're taking action, and it may not be the right action. We may fall on our face a couple times. We may take a couple steps back to go one step forward, but we're trying.
Right. That's the thing. Try every day, every time, every week. We may, get to episode
Are
11.
you throwing sound effects in there on us?
What
are you doing over here?
No, not during this.
Oh.
Not during this.
Oh.
I did throw one in after.
What'd you do?
After he mentioned Nick Saban.
Oh, what'd you do?
By the way, if y'all don't know, Kyle is a big Auburn fan, even though he's got a Alabama script A tattooed on the back.
It's an Anderson A.
Yeah. It's the Anderson script Alabama A.
Alabama is a fan of Anderson.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
That's the one. We're going to go with that.
We'll go with that.
But
sounds good to me.
Yeah. But see, that's the type of personalities that you get with this show. I mean, we're talking about something kind of serious, if you will. But then we throw in all these little fun jokes types of things that makes it enjoyable, I think, for people out there to watch.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, 100%.
How do we have fun and still make it like
educational?
To the point where you want to tune back in.
Right.
Who wants to watch? If you just wanted to watch two drunks, you could go down to your local bar and do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nobody cares about that.
Yeah. So we thought, how can we come up with a show that's about bass fishing? What's up, Kyle? Go ahead.
I hit the wrong button.
How can we come up with a show to teach people the things that we've learned, and how can we learn from other people and try to make it fun and enjoyable for everybody involved? And that's kind of how this was born. And we've kind of just went from it and rode the wave.
At the end of the day, I think if you're passionate about something, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're passionate about it and you follow that passion, you're going to succeed.
Oh yeah, and that also attracts people.
It may not be somebody else's idea of succeeding,
right?
But you will succeed. You're not going to fail by following something you're passionate about.
No,
but people can sense that passion also, and people that are passionate about that same thing, you're going to draw those people.
100%. They'll get excited.
They can tell if you're not genuine.
Yeah, they'll get excited because they see how you feel about it. I've done that. You know what I mean? I've seen somebody talk about something and know that they genuinely care about that. You can see that, you can sense that emotion in that person. And it's like, wow, I'm inspired. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's awesome. So, that's kind of like what we want to do.
People. So I was over here my gums and people were talking about what they were doing.
Oh yeah. Go back to that, please.
It's on. They got it up on Facebook. It's all good. Like, Kevin says they tune in every week. They love the show. Scott says he's got it on his TV through the Fire Stick and he can comment using his phone.
That's awesome.
Shannon's, one of her favorite quotes is always treat someone like you could learn something from them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not very good at that, but we make mistakes and we learn from them and obviously learn through pain and embarrassment. So I've made lots of mistakes, but I try to improve. And
I've had my share of embarrassment. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and say that I haven't because that would be a lie. So yeah. Hopefully, going forward, we can learn from that and be better at what we want to be better at.
Jimmy, I don't know if we answer your question, man. I just want to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah. So there's that.
Right. What you got next, bro?
All right.
It's 8:30.
It's 8. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Where have we been?
We running late.
Oh yeah. Ryan and Melinda have some sort of unconfirmed surprise.
How
do you have a surprise you don't know about?
Well, hold on.
If it's unconfirmed.
Well, it just doesn't mean that they are in possession of it yet. They have an idea. I know a little bit about this. I talked to Ryan and Mel both about it.
That's bullshit. I don't like secrets.
No, there's no secret. I mean,
Beaver.
Fuck that beaver.
Yeah, fuck the beaver.
I don't want to tell you.
Literally.
They what? They want it to be, I was told they wanted it to be a little bit of a surprise to you, so I feel like I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? It's not my place. Brian, Mel, y'all bail me out.
Stop talking about it.
Yeah, but they did put it into the chat.
Yeah,
right.
So
don't put it out there if you don't want me to ask questions.
We're going to move to the Venom. Oh, excuse me. We've renamed this.
What is it?
It is the Tackle Highlight presented by Venom Lure.
Boom! Where's
like
the? No, we don't have a drum. There's no drum roll, huh?
There's not a drum roll.
No. See, you're supposed to bring the drum.
But
He keeps forgetting it.
Put a real fancy harp in there.
I keep thinking, what? Fancy harp.
Real fancy harp.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy harp. Boom.
So this week.
What's our Venom lure of the week?
Venom Lure Tackle Highlight of the week is the Nightmare Crawl 6.25 inch. And I'm going to give you, unless you want to do it via that.
What?
Do you want to pull it up or do you want to?
No. Show that bad boy, son.
All right. Let me slide by you, Mr. Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Neat. I just want to get Chris in front of the camera.
No, you're only going to get my hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the Vanna White.
Oh, we can't see it.
Move back.
That's a little better. The light is really the problem.
The reflection. So if I turn it.
Kyle, help me out.
Oh,
shit.
Dun, dun.
No, well, that's what I was doing. Tell me, get it closer to the camera and tell me when is it in focus or can you see it?
That's pretty good right there.
Can you see?
Yeah, you can see the red
Look at that
flake.
big
And
sumbitch.
Yeah.
that's a pretty sick looking creature, baby.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I like the red flake in that
I do too.
a lot.
And I don't know, putting this guy in the water, it just sparkles red. You know what I mean?
Let me see that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have yet to.
Venom has some.
That's a crawl. That is not just a regular creature. It's a crawl.
Yeah, it's a creature crawl. Yeah.
Oh.
Venom has some really cool stuff. I know you guys hear us. If you've been here and watched this show, you hear us every single week give a tackle highlight presented by Venom.
That's right.
Lures. We're going to continue to do that.
We are.
We are pro staff for Venom Lures.
Because we like it.
Because we like it and we believe in their products and they work. That's the deal. They freaking work, y'all.
It's the only thing I caught a fish on.
Yeah. So, they got some really good stuff. And before the show tonight, y'all excuse the rattling around, putting the lure back in the bag.
I thought you were going to put that lure on something.
I'm going to get. Oh, I'm going to get to that. We're not.
Spoiler.
We're not. So we're over here, talking about the show, what we're going to do tonight, and some other stuff. And Jeremy's like, I wonder if Venom would do a discount code for us. And so he hits up Dustin. Yeah.
No.
Was it
yeah,
Dustin?
Mr. Carnes.
Mr. Carnes.
Dustin Carnes.
Yeah, he hits up Dustin Carnes.
Dustin Carnes.
Through Venom Lures, and Dustin is, right back on it. You know what I mean? He's replied, pow, just like that. Like he texted him on his personal phone or something. You know what I mean? And he says, absolutely. Anybody that's watching this show.
That's right. Fans of ours.
Fans of Twisted Hooks
You guys.
Fishing,
All four of you.
all four that's out there watching.
There's
right
actually
now.
16
Okay.
live right now.
All right. However many there is. If you go to Venom, if you want to Venom Lures, go to venomlures.com and you go pick out the lures, whatever that you want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You
All
put
of them.
All of them, because they all are good. Yeah. And you put in, that's going to ask you for a promo code or discount coupon or something like that.
Yep.
So if you put in the code GETTWISTED,
All caps.
all capital letters, you're going to get a 10% discount.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
That's just for y'all.
Yeah.
You are a select few.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
like special forces over here.
Yeah. That's like Space Force.
Like the
You know what I
Team
mean?
6 up
I meant special forces, like the kid in the wheelchair.
like helmet special.
Sorry if you're in a wheelchair. Wells, you know that I'm not busting on you, But you're one of the guys, so we got to give you some shit too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if guys don't give other guys crap, then
Right. I mean,
we're not guys.
so we don't really like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool. I mean, I thought that
It's amazing.
it is.
It's amazing.
For him to go, yeah, man, Venom, they like every show that we've done. They share every show that we've done.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They're out there supporting us like we're trying to support them. And to me, it's just awesome, bro.
That's right.
It really is awesome. And then they're going to extend you a discount. You know what I mean? Just for you watching the show.
Trinity did the same thing. Yeah, he texted me back.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about the Venom lure highlight of the week,
Right.
but I'm going to put it in the chat. The Catch Some Relief code that you're looking for is all lowercase, twisted hook, 15.
So if you want to go, Bethany, because you've been all over this,
Right?
tonight, yeah. You want to go check out the Catch Some Relief stuff? You put in that code, and it's going to give you the discount. So I mean, that's epic, bro. You know what I mean? That's just awesome. I know I keep saying the word awesome, but it really is awesome. Awesome.
Why is Shannon in trouble? Who said Shannon was in trouble?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we got through the Venom highlight, tackle highlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the Venom lures.
It was Get Twisted, right?
Get Twisted, all capital letters. And if you want to put the Trinity's Catch Some Relief in there as well, that way people will know.
I did.
Yeah, good deal. Good deal.
Boom. There it is,
Boom.
son.
Boom. Piggity pow, how you like us now?
So what are we on now?
We're going to back to the basics.
Back to the base.
Yeah.
Bam.
We started this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. This is for Scott
yeah. This is for
Hines.
You. Yeah.
Not Adkins.
Yeah. Scott had a question about kayak fishing without kayaks or fishing without kayaks. His kids want to go fishing.
Right.
But they don't have kayaks. We talked to him earlier about, just hit the bank.
Right.
You know
So
what I mean?
he explained a little more about his question.
Did he?
Yeah,
Okay,
he did.
okay.
He said he ain't talking about that.
Oh.
He talked about lure.
Oh.
Like, what lure does he need to take his kids fishing and catch fish?
What are you fishing for?
Hold on a second. I'm going to throw a caveat in there.
There's a lot of different scenarios.
There's one. All right. If you're not in a tournament, you can use live bait.
Yes.
Okay.
Nightcrawler.
Go to the bait shop with a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket and one of those things from Walmart that makes bubbles and get you some minnows.
Yes.
Get a little 2-aught hook or circle hook, round hook, tie it onto them little Barbie poles and they will fish.
Put your bobber on there?
Yeah, bobber about 18 inches up.
Yep.
That's it. That's as basic as you get. You will catch fish.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't use live bait.
That's the difference.
We can't use live bait. So our basic, back to the basics, right?
Right.
We're talking about people kind of like us that are interested in tournament fishing, and you can't use live bait.
Right. Which we did not explain that. You know what I mean? When we went back to basics, we just said back to the basics. We didn't.
But that's a good point.
It is.
That's basics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basic. Worms.
Worms.
Not you can go in your backyard. Kids can find worms.
Yeah.
right?
There you go. Get Grisham out there with a
Worm.
cotton picking shovel and go dig up the and see if you can find some night crawlers or some type of worms. All right, put them in a bucket with a little bit of soil. That way they got something to live on. Don't leave them out in the heat. You know what I mean?
And rip them in half.
You can rip them
Night
in half.
crawlers.
Don't put the whole damn worm
Yes.
on the hook.
Right.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You only need, look, worms don't have feelings. They're like single moms. So you just rip a little bit off.
Yeah. And then put it on there. You're guaranteed you're going to catch a brim for sure.
That was a good one.
I'm sorry, the single moms that work at the Pony.
Oh, we're talking about
Not just all single moms.
We're not. Yeah.
Only the ones that are stripped
Strip. They're only.
Kevin Waddell had strip bass.
Yeah, he had strip bass. So now we're talking about strip worms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is part of the show that I love because we just go improv with it and try to make it a comedy show. And that's part of the show that we hope y'all can appreciate. But yeah, back to the basics. Basic fishing, 100%. Zeb code 33. You know what I mean?
Huh?
It's you're not even looking at a casting rod. You're not even looking at an open face rod. You're looking at one of your basic rod and reels.
Perfect for kids.
They're perfect for kids.
Perfect.
They really are. You don't have the issues. Throw you a hook on there like he's talking about. Yep. There's you a example.
It's an Abumatic, but it's the same thing.
It's the same type. It's the exact same type. Okay. Different name brand, same type. Okay. Throw you a bobber on there. Throw a worm or a minnow out there, and let that thing just kind of sit out there and dangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And use a quarter of the worm.
Yeah.
Because if you use the whole worm,
all it's going to do is get eaten off.
it's going to be eaten off, and you would be amazed
Yeah.
how quickly you will go through
Worms.
30, 40, 50 worms
Oh,
when
yeah.
you got all them bluegill nipping at that thing, and it will strip that thing clean off the hook, and you will never catch that fish.
The bluegill has a mouth about the size of your pinky finger.
The nail.
So that's what they're eating with. It's going to be difficult if you just load that worm up on there and it's just kind of
It gives them way too much to eat.
right.
They got
And
all
they're-
these different areas where they can just pick it apart, and they will pull it clean off of your hook.
Oh, yeah.
Smaller the target, the closer they get to your hook.
They're like piranha.
Oh,
What's that?
Chris Marks.
What do you say?
Chris Marks is saying, worked on a bedding bass at Weiss for 40 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, man.
He was
That's
working on that fish,
Yeah.
dedication.
right? Guess what? Finally got it to bite the tail off.
Oh.
Short strike,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
Guy came in behind him and caught it.
Oh. That's like a stake
Hey.
in the heart, bro.
Hey, he asked him what he caught it with. The guy hesitated. Finally told him, canned corn.
Canned.
Canned corn. Now, I've heard that for crappie, brim, and carp fishing. People use corn for carp fishing a lot.
Yeah. Never for bass.
But a bass catching it, I mean,
So I'm assuming that
I
guy
eat
wasn't.
corn. I like
I'm
corn.
assuming that guy wasn't in the ABT.
I mean, obviously, he wasn't in a tournament.
right.
Oh.
He was
All
just
right.
fishing.
At least he better not have been.
He says, Jeremy Self says the color yellow is legit.
Yeah, it is.
And he said that
Oh, yeah.
I am cold-blooded.
You are?
Yeah, for my comment
About what?
about
Oh.
Cool.
about moms.
Oh. Yeah. It was a joke, bro. I mean,
It was a joke.
It was a
Yellow
joke.
is
Really mean
legit
that.
because the
Holy!
only two fish I caught were
He said it was a 5.75 pound fish because he saw the scale.
Really?
Mm.
And caught it on corn.
I mean,
Did he tell you if it was sweet corn?
that guy might have went for a swim.
I may have called it a day after that.
I might have
I mean,
quit to the
yeah,
bank,
I may
man.
have called it a day.
I'm definitely going for a different spot. at that
Good
point.
night.
You know what I mean?
Or just ask him to open his live well.
Right.
Right.
Hey, man, can I take a picture of that on my board?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Take the picture of that on board. You can have it right back. You can have
I'll give it right back to
it
you.
right back to
Just
you.
open it up. I'm pretty good at pitching.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's horrible.
You know, I read a story about 2 years ago. There was a couple in Florida who were out fishing for bass, and they were using all the artificial lures and stuff like that, and they hadn't caught nothing all day. And the girlfriend, they had stopped and got McDonald's and was eating.
You gonna talk about chicken nugget or
Yeah.
something? Oh my lord!
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just amazing to me.
I've never seen a bass eat it. I've seen catfish and stuff like that eat stuff like anything, right?
they caught-
They'll eat anything.
They
A
caught
nugget?
a 10-pound bass on a
A
McDonald's
10-pound.
pound bass on a McDonald's chicken McNugget.
I'm going to McDonald's Saturday.
I mean, I'm serious.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I couldn't believe it. They had fished all day and ate most of their food because they had lunch. They bought lunch from McDonald's or whatever. And then the girlfriend says,
Dude, that
why don't you just throw this McNugget on the last McNugget or whatever on the hook and see what you get?
Why don't you make fuck off? This is my nugget.
right?
Well, apparently he caught a badass fish.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
A
would have never
10-pound
guessed
largemouth. There was a
10
pounder, bro.
That's
on a nugget.
like people
On a
don't
nugget.
understand. That's an old fish. You know
That
what I
is
mean?
an old
Very.
fish.
Like,
And
Very
yeah, you
old.
see lots of pictures of 10-pound, but that's because there's 4 million people trying to catch them.
Right.
That fish
And you
has been-
see the few guys that actually get one.
Oh yeah, that fish has been cruising around and avoiding
Death.
for like five years at least. I mean, you figure he grows about 2 pounds a year.
I mean,
so
yeah,
that's a
it's
long
not even that
time.
big. It's not that much. Like
Depends on
they
the
grow
strain.
an inch like a month for like the first year.
Depends on the strain though.
And then
then
after
they
that,
slow.
it depends on the strain. But a 10 plus pounder is old.
That's a big fish.
Well, that's-
And it's not stupid. It didn't get that big by accident.
No,
I mean, that's like a benchmark size for all bass fishermen.
Oh, that's
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
you don't know the kicker?
What's that?
He caught on 6-pound line.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Jesus Christ. I mean, Marks, are you really making? Are you?
What
making
was-
this
No,
up?
So,
regular
I wanna-
guy in a small John boat with a trolling motor.
I want to know what was Chris throwing at that fish for 40 minutes?
Obviously, it wasn't corn.
It wasn't corn.
What?
I want to know what lure he was throwing at the fish.
Yeah,
You
Chris.
know,
Chris, what were you throwing
were
that
you-
it bit the tail off
were
of?
you using fluoro or were you throwing braid?
Give us the whole setup: rod, reel, line, lure.
because them bedfish are finicky.
Yeah, man.
You got
all of that.
like
Give me
super stealth mode.
Here. It's got to be about the end of the battery.
Good.
It just freezes.
Is it still frozen on the end?
No, we're in. We're good.
Regular guy in a small John
She
boat
says
with
it's
a
still
trolling
frozen.
motor and a 10-pound bass in that thing. Oh
Good
my
man,
lord!
night.
Amanda,
What?
she says it's still frozen.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the feed right now.
Okay. Okay.
I see you waiting right now. There's just a lag.
Okay. Good deal.
That would have broke my heart. I couldn't imagine being in.
Chris Marks is just saying if modern corn is artificial. I mean,
Hey, it
I
probably-
don't feel like if it's edible food that it's a artificial lure.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
it probably has artificial sweeteners in it. Does
Maybe that
work?
new shit's got so much steroids in it.
Hey.
It's not it's not real anymore.
Hey.
It's artificial.
How about we do this? Hey, can you throw this at the NAKA board, man?
Right.
If it's got artificial sweeteners
Can we
or artificial
corn
flavors,
at the next stop?
if it's got artificial anything in it, can we use corn on the next trail stop?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Hey, man.
I'll take the chance that a brim will bite that corn and then a bass
You-
will bite that brim.
Right. I know
Just
that.
saying.
I'm sorry, Marks, man. I know that was a little corny.
Oh, Lord. Get out of here. Ba-dum-bum. I saw it. I didn't have to hear it. I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He knows my comedy.
Yeah.
He puts up with it too, which is pretty good. Yeah.
Chris says chatter to pass it off at first. Then it bit the watermelon red speed worm.
Oh, boy.
Watermelon red is like the only thing people that we talk to caught fish on.
That's what I caught him on.
It was either watermelon with red flake or watermelon with a little chartreuse on it.
Yep.
But like watermelon red, I fished, I don't know how many docks and laydowns and things. But somebody said, yeah, man, watermelon with red flake. And then Chris over here sends me a text. Hey, man, caught one with watermelon red flake.
Yeah.
And I put one on and bam, got a fish.
If you drink, don't drive. Use a watermelon crawl. For all you country fans, y'all know exactly what that means.
I don't know why Chris Mark says piss.
Oh, because he meant to say to piss it off at first instead of pass it
Oh,
off.
pass it off.
Oh, gotcha.
I just
I thought
thought maybe
that
it
same
was like a
thing.
piss break or something.
Yeah, I was
Like,
looking
don't
at
know.
it.
I'm
You
with
need a
that.
beer?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
That was the same thing I was wondering. I was like, why did he just randomly put piss in the chat?
Michael Putman said buzz bait. Hey, how about this? Whatever you threw this last weekend,
Yeah.
throw the picture up in the comments.
Yeah.
Huh? Show us what you're working with.
Yeah, because you got first place. Congratulations. And you got big bass, right?
Who did?
Wasn't Michael Putman?
Did he?
Wasn't Michael Putman the winner?
I didn't even see, man. Like I
Pretty
didn't.
sure. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Marks, let me know.
I know I didn't win anything.
I didn't really pay attention to it because, again, what Jeremy said, I didn't win, so I wasn't really. You know,
I couldn't even.
but I'm
put
pretty
into
sure it
the
was Michael
chat.
Putman, or his last name was Putman,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Jeremy Self says red bug was his color, and it was creature bait.
Yeah.
And it was green with red, or something with red in it. But most of them were watermelon that we talked to.
Yeah, and that's what I caught my biggest one on, which not really big.
I threw the Venom beaver on their DK rig, which is like a weedless Ned rig, and that was the only fish I caught.
Yeah, and y'all need to check that out, by the way.
So the beaver was kind of good to you.
Underbelly spin. No,
The beaver was kind of good to you this time.
I mean, that beaver.
Different kind of beaver.
The better beaver.
The better beaver.
The better beaver.
It wasn't the worst.
It wasn't a 50.
Not the 50-pound beaver.
Right.
Not a 50-pounder.
Yeah.
Right.
With a palace.
With a palace.
Yeah.
Definitely had a freaking palace.
Chris Marks threw, he caught all his on underbelly spin that Jeremy Self talked about last week. Let me tell you, I threw, I don't think I have it up here. I threw the one that we had on the show last week with Jeremy Self. I threw that for 4 hours. Never got a bite.
Here's the thing, though, bro.
Because they just weren't looking for that presentation for me for whatever reason. It was a swim bait with an underspin.
I saw
nothing.
While you were underneath, if you guys remember, we talked about the bass boat going underneath the little whatever bridge. Jeremy goes underneath there with him. Yeah. I'll stay outside and fish in the mouth. All right.
Chris Mark says, yes, Michael Putman won, and he's the one that had the 22.5 and
Yeah, he
3/4
won.
inch bass.
He won first place.
Michael, congrats.
Yeah. And he won big bass, 22.5 incher.
I heard about it, and I didn't even know whose name it was. I was just like, I shouldn't even fish anymore.
I think he took over. Speaking of, I'm just going to throw this out there for NAKA. This dude won first place. He won big bass.
Right.
He took home over $1,200
Boom.
that day.
That just happened.
Just
That
for a day
just-
of fishing.
The day of fishing in a kayak, bro. I mean, we're not talking about.
I'm pretty sure I
BASS.
spent $1,200.
I did. With the phone.
Yeah.
You literally did.
I absolutely did.
You know what I mean?
Kyle lost his phone, if you didn't hear.
Yeah.
In the
So,
water at the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Pope. Or,
Chris Pope.
Pope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Bridge pillars. You caught them by bridge pillars. I wasn't by any bridges.
I wasn't either.
I went through a tiny ass causeway that we talked about. Under spillage thing,
I was
drainage thing. I don't know what you call it.
I was around a bunch of islands and ledges and flats.
Well, we
And
had heard,
Yeah.
again, the whole kayak fishing community, we talk, we kind of help each other out. You know what I mean? So Jeremy texted me. He says, the guy that's in second place,
Killing it on
is
Ned
killing
Rig.
it on Ned Rig watermelon.
And that's what I got told.
Yeah.
By another guy.
Yeah.
Right? Hell, I was paddling, dude. I was frustrated. I was having a bad day, and I was just like, I just moving around, and I ran into all kinds of guys.
Yeah.
And every time I got close to somebody, I just stopped paddling and talked because I didn't have anything better to do because I wasn't catching anything. So we just chat, and man, they were just like, yeah, I'm throwing this and throwing that, and I'm getting bites on this. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'm throwing this and this, and I ain't getting nothing. So don't throw that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a struggle.
I think it was hard for everybody because there was
Yeah.
so many people.
That was the deal. That's what made it the struggle. And
So much pressure.
it was, the water was just crazy. It felt like every time you would paddle or pedal 2 steps or 3 steps or 3 paddles forward, you'd go 2 back.
I feel like it was like 4th of July. That's what I felt like.
It did. With all the
Did it not really?
Yeah.
Like I felt like, what are we doing?
It's
Is
like-
it Independence Day? We're supposed to be drinking and riding on a party barge right
I
now.
mean,
Like
it's-
there's so many people out.
It's like everybody came to the lake and most of them drove twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, the way I kind of look at it is the area you guys were in had a lot of boats. The area I was in had a lot of boats. So you got to figure those guys in that ABT tournament,
Yeah.
those guys all pre-fished.
Oh yes.
And those guys weren't in those areas for no reason.
right. They
They
caught
already
fish there.
Beat the hell out of those areas
Yeah.
for who knows how many days
Right.
prior, checking them out. And those fish,
They were like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
they'd
They were
already
like,
been-
I don't give a damn what
Learn
you
my
got.
lesson, son.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nah,
2
saying?
steps back in the Z formation.
I ain't seen a piece of corn this week.
Right.
Let me
That
get
was
that.
awesome. I hope you
Uh,
hit the comedy button on that one because
did.
that was funny.
Jeremy Self said he got cut off by bass boats 12 times.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I understand why you put on Facebook that white sucks. I mean, that's all.
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying.
straight up, that's all it said.
Yep.
It was-
Oh,
I mean, it was a picture of fish.
It was a picture of a fish that he caught in
Why
Gunnersville.
sucks?
Yeah, it's a picture of a fish he caught in Gunnersville. Probably a 3-pounder, maybe. I don't know. Jeremy Self let us know how much it weighed, whatever. It looked like it was maybe 3 pound, maybe a little bit more. And it just said a caption: "White sucks." That was it.
He says the fish he found the day before were suspended 10 to 15 feet off the bottom.
That was so much of what I fished. No,
I'll tell you, I was fishing a little bit of current and anywhere that I found super green grass. Like that, I was looking for a place that had oxygen because I figured, you know, the water warming up, that's what they were looking for. I guess I figured wrong. So then I started going to the docks and going to shady spots. Well, maybe the water's too warm, so there's something shady. And that's where I found the one fish. Yeah. Chris Mark says, sick enjoyment watching all the bass boats coming and going in the same spot. And I'm laughing. You're the fifth boat. I mean, like, I agree. Here was my problem. We would go into a spot. Good Lord. Chris and I went to a slough at the end, right by the ramp. And it wasn't 50 feet wide. It was about, I don't know. It was probably about 100 yards long, but it wasn't 50 feet wide. It was probably 40 feet wide, like a little bit less than 50. And Chris and I were like in there in our kayaks, spread out fishing, and boat after boat after boat would come in there and just fish around us. And that's why I just, like, 1 o'clock came around and I was just like, you know what, man, I'm done. Like, I was tired of the waves and tired of the company and people just being disrespectful. That's the wrong answer. I'm not a quitter, but man, I was spent. Like, my brain was not in it. Jeremy was what, on 25 foot of water in the river catching them Friday. I don't know where he was at Friday, but I know Sunday you posted some pictures of some donkeys. Huh? Did you see the pictures that Jeremy self-posted Sunday?
Yes.
Oh my God. He was like back on Guntersville, and the fish didn't even fit in the picture.
Right.
Oh man.
Right. I'm talking donkeys, bro.
I feel like if that tournament would have been on Guntersville that day, it would have been a much different turnout for everybody.
I mean, you heard Trinity talking about Guntersville Saturday.
Yeah.
It was just as busy.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't think it would have been as hard to do. Weiss was.
I mean,
I think it would have been rough in a kayak anywhere.
Agreed. Because
Anywhere. Because there's so many people out.
Boat traffic, yeah.
Boat
traffic, yeah. But I feel like the fish are a little
Tell me
more
there
active.
ain't 10 tournaments every Saturday on Guntersville.
Very true, but not a 250 boat tournament that past weekend.
It was also probably the warmest weekend we've had this year.
And Guntersville's water is a little cooler than Weiss's. Weiss, I was fishing on like 80-degree water.
Really?
Yeah. It was like when I put in first thing in the morning, that water temp where I was at was like 74.
Wow.
And by the end of the day, right before my phone dumped it, it was like 80, 79, 80 degree
What
water.
kind of depth were you in?
When the phone
Shallow?
fell, I was in about 10 to 12 foot.
But that's with the 80 degree.
Yep.
So the shallow stuff is going to warm up. I mean, I get it. That makes sense. Jeremy Self said Guntersville was on fire because everyone was fishing Weiss.
Right. Probably was.
I hate Weiss.
And by the way,
I'm not a big fan of Weiss because we haven't done well there. We've caught fish. We've all caught fish there every time we've been there, but that's like 4 times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's so far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's 2+ hours, a little over 2 hours for us from
to
here.
get there.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours. So you got 4 hours plus travel time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I want to do this right quick. I said I was going to do this earlier, and I completely forgot about it. But thanks, Jeremy Self, for coming out last week, being on the show.
Most definitely.
It was a really good show.
You're our favorite self.
You're our favorite self.
Did you guys ask him
What?
about how to calm a fish down?
No, you should ask him.
Jeremy.
This is Jeremy. I have a question for you.
You told us last year a trick.
So we're at a weigh-in.
Yes. I remember this now.
We didn't know if it was true or you just messing with people.
I had no idea. So we're at a weigh-in. I don't remember which one it was. I don't remember which leg. But we're all at some restaurant. Everybody's sitting around waiting on the results and waiting on food and everything. And you're sitting right behind me. And
awesome.
I can hear you talking. And one of the guys you were talking with was talking about how he had such a hard time getting his fish to calm down. He almost flopped off of the bump board. And it was, the guy struggle. And
He's on a struggle bus.
so I'm listening and I'm like, yeah, I've been there. That sucks. Well, you responded to this guy in the most serious voice, and you told him, well,
Woosah.
yeah, he was like, well, you got to calm the fish down. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, yeah,
What?
that's the obvious.
Whisper
go-to.
it.
And you go,
Sweet nothings.
and you told this guy, you got to calm the fish down, but to do it, you got to rub the fish's butthole counterclockwise, and it will calm him down. It'll calm him down, and it'll relax him.
Yeah, Chris Mark says tickle the belly.
Yeah.
So
That's where the butthole's at.
Right.
So I've always wondered, because I've been in quite a few tournaments since then with fish going crazy, and I'm like, should I rub this fish's butt?
Michael Butman says he remembers him saying that too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, is this legit? Because he sounded so serious,
bro.
Like he wasn't laughing. He didn't say a joke.
No.
He said it with the most serious. I'm like, is that a real thing? And if that's a real thing, and if that's a real thing, how do you find this out?
Right. How did you learn this trick?
Right.
Right.
Who told you
Right.
this shit? You know what I mean?
I need to know if this is true. I've had this question in my head for at least a year or two now. Ever
No,
since I heard that.
I think it's been because this is our third year
Yeah,
doing
this
NAKA,
gotta
right?
be
I think
at
that
Third year.
was
So
the
that was the
first
first
one.
year.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
That was like one of the first times we met Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least 3 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least.
That's hilarious.
He's not texting. I want to know if this is like.
Oh
this
shit!
This is the funnest show we've had.
Oh Lord!
Oh my God, this is awesome.
We have missed so much content, and ain't even funny.
I'm
We kind of lost where we were at.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
so anxiously awaiting.
While we're waiting on
Yeah.
that, why don't you show us
Okay, we're going back to
back to the basics? Back to the basics. We talked about it.
Okay,
I
yeah.
brought it up like 30 minutes ago. I'm not going to bring it up again.
Well,
Maybe I will.
We kind
Here
of
you go.
digressed.
Bam! Back to the basics. Now Chris is going to demonstrate.
We we talked about this a little bit, and then we kind of digressed
We
so-
did a lot.
a little bit, just a little bit. So we're going to kind of re-emphasize some of the things. I've got a mock-up here. I got a pot liquor mock-up.
Pot liquor. That's the rod I had after the weekend.
For the ninja, the redneck ninja out there.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
it's one of his things?
this is he calls it a pot liquor.
Pot liquor.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to kind of re-emphasize. If you watched the show last week, we talked about weightless rig. We talked about Carolina rig. We talked about Texas rig. So I'm just going to kind of give you a demo, if you will, of a weightless on the Venom 6.5-inch crawl.
Bam.
Of how kind of like to work it. What you got to remember though is you're holding a rod in your hand. You're holding a rod in your hand, which is about 6 to 7 foot long. All right. Wah, 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 wah.
We have a button for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a Chris too.
Yeah, we have, apparently. So what you got to realize is, for real though, is that the smallest flick of the wrist creates a lot of movement at the end of your rod.
Most definitely.
A whole lot of movement. So I'm sorry, I find this.
Gotta
way
move
too
the
funny.
rod.
You got to move the rod, and it only takes a little bit of a flick of the wrist to get a lot of movement in that rod. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
No, I mean,
You know what I mean?
burn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get to this without laughing. I
Come
really am.
on with it.
Yeah. All right. So, if you've got, and you're wanting to fish the bottom of this guy, we're going to move our stuff down. Here's your beer, Kyle, which you haven't drank in an hour, by the way.
That is true.
Yeah. So, just a little bit of the flick of the wrist is getting this guy to come across the bottom. Now, Venom has a really good crawl. It's actually got a good weight to it. Okay. So it's going to sink pretty quick. It's a solid, soft plastic. So it's not hollow. You know what I mean? It's going to drop. So I'm barely just popping my wrist. And so you want to imitate what you've got on the end of your line. So this is a crawfish. All right. So what do crawfish do in their natural habitat? They just kind of creep along the bottom, right? You know what I mean? You don't want this guy flipping and flopping around. You know what I mean?
Move backwards.
Yeah.
It still blows.
They do because they have crawls.
They have craws in their
Well, they have-
ass.
Throwing gang signs.
Yeah.
They have claws. I said crawls and I got him to say it.
Yeah. They're claws.
The claws have crawls.
The
Claws. And they're butt in. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So-
That's their defensive end. So they're going to keep that towards whatever's trying to eat them.
Right. So he's kind of just popping along, and that's what you want him to do. You know what I mean? It's just kind of
Tap bands.
imitate what you're fishing with, the lure you're fishing with, in a natural habitat. So you're just kind of just popping them back and forth, back and forth. You know what I mean? You can kind of go look on videos. Here's what I'd like for you to do
Pop, pop.
is, pop, and pop. No.
No.
Seriously, take whatever lure that you're going to use, whether it be a trick bait, a trick worm, whether it be whatever that you're using, swim bait, whatever it is, okay? Cast it out about 10, 12, 15 feet away. Keep it up close to the surface of the water, okay? So that you can see what you're doing on the end of that rod, what that bait is doing in the water.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? That gives you an idea, because if you're down on the bottom and you're fishing 5 feet down, you can't see that. So you don't know what that bait's doing, right? So bring it up close to the surface, reel it up real quick, keep him up to close to the surface so you can see what that bait is doing, and you can adjust back and forth.
Mom and Dad always tell you not to play with your rod, but we're telling you to play with it.
Play with your rod.
Play with it.
100%.
You got to know what it's doing.
Absolutely.
You got to know how it works.
100%. If
Yeah.
you don't, then how are you supposed to catch fish? You know what I mean?
If you don't know how it works, you won't get the juice.
Right. Exactly. Who got the hooch, baby? You know what I mean?
That was a pun on rod.
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
So
Thought I had to explain.
so is hooch. I mean, it's just a little bit different angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the deal. You know what I mean? Now, next week, maybe the week after, whatever, we'll get into a different type. But this is just your weightless. Like I said, this guy's heavy. You know what I mean? It's got some weight to it. So you don't really want, unless you want to fish really deep, you don't really need a weight with this guy.
No.
Yeah. No.
No. Weightless is always the way to go unless you have to.
Swim baits. They got some weight to them. You can cast that son of a bitch that's weightless. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Forever.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of those baits out there, you don't really need a bait or
No,
a weight.
a weight.
You know what I mean?
You don't need to wait for your bait.
Don't need a weight for your bait.
All right. Melinda says they'll have the flag for Natalie next week shipped out.
There you go.
I mean, boom. That's awesome.
There you go. That's
That's
what
awesome.
we were talking about.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, then.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
What else we got?
So next up in the show is going to be upcoming events.
Upcoming events.
Yeah. So this Saturday, I know Marks is going to like this part.
Yeah.
This
Saturday.
This coming Saturday is NAKA.
NAKO.
NAKA. I told y'all, man, my
That's a
tongue's
new
been
one.
twisted. My tongue's been twisted. It's been doing that all day. It was at work. I promise you, it has nothing to do with the beer that I drink. I swear.
Kayak on
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. NAKA demo days this Saturday over in Decatur.
I feel like that's the only thing we need to talk about.
I agree. That is the only thing we need to talk about.
I don't know if you're in the NAKA board, right? Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah.
NAKA board.
Yeah.
Got on there, threw down a challenge.
Mhm.
Right?
We sure did.
Well,
So to kind of go back to the NAKA demo days, if you don't know what that is,
it's the
all
coolest
us-
thing ever.
all us guys that participate in North Alabama kayak anglers, we bring our personal yaks out over in Decatur, and we let anybody that's there demo it.
Yep.
So you can get on a new canoe F12, which we highly recommend because they're badass.
That's because we believe they're the best ones.
Yeah, that's because they're badass.
Right.
You know, there's guys that's got Jacksons, there's guys who's got Hobies, there's guys who's got Vods, there's guys who's got Natives, there's guys who's got all kinds of different ones.
All of them.
All of them. All right. And we all kind of gather together and we open up our lives, if you will, and let you get on which one you want and go out there and just play around with it.
Right.
And get a feel for it.
It's like going to the kayak dealer and getting to test drive all the Lamborghinis.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like all the good ones.
yeah.
Yeah, because kayak dealers sell Lamborghinis, Kyle. Don't give me that look.
I was wondering.
Don't give me that look.
All right.
Huh?
You never saw it, but all right, I'll believe you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I never bought a Lamborghini.
You know what I felt like, right? You know what I felt like. What I meant.
well, you're getting the Lamborghinis of the kayak.
Yeah.
How about
Oh, yeah,
that?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you can go out there and try anyone that you want. Everybody's cool. It's if you have questions, you can ask the guys. All it's just a great event.
Pedal kayaks, paddle kayaks, motorized kayaks, don't matter. They're all there.
They're all there.
Everything's represented.
I know that you're going to have at least 2 New Canoe Frontier 12s with trolling motors on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my motor still works.
If your motor still works. Well, you will have, I know for one, sure one.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be there. Jeremy's is going to be there, but you might have to paddle it.
Yeah.
Because we're not 100% sure that his motor's still with us.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It lived a
Now,
good life.
To get to 1A to 1B part of this equation, we a couple weeks ago threw down.
No, it was this week.
It was last week.
It was this week.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah,
Last week.
Last Tuesday, we said that we're going to throw out a stability challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody sees YouTube videos about, this is my kayak and blah, blah, blah. And I can stand here and I can do that.
Yeah.
Right. All the brands, all the manufacturers, they have their edited videos showing, what a person can do and not fall out, supposedly. Right. So, what's our challenge?
Right. We're challenging all these other brands. Of course, as you know, we've got New Canoes. We believe they're the most stable out there. We're challenging all the other guys.
You guys.
Yep. If you've got
guys like this guy in a native.
That's got a native who says this is pretty damn
Jeremy
stable.
Self's in a Jackson.
Yep.
He says he's in.
He says he's in. He's going to be there.
He's in.
So if you've got whatever other kind of brand of kayak,
we're going to stand side by side in the water on our kayaks.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the hokey pokey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just to see what happens. Maybe it's like a dunk tank. Maybe everybody gets wet.
Right. Who knows?
Whatever.
But I know one thing. I'm wearing swim trunks and water shoes because I got a feeling that my New Canoe F12 is not going to tip over.
Oh, no.
But I got a good feeling that I'm going to go in the water.
I mean, that could happen.
I'm going to probably fall out of it.
Is it you or me doing it?
I thought we were both doing it.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like only one New Canoe Frontier 12 needs to be represented.
Oh, well, I was wanting to try. Okay.
I mean, if you want to get wet, go ahead.
I mean, I'm in the fun.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'll record.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, one of us is going to be on a camera. Somebody's going to be on a camera.
And the other's going to be in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody going to be on camera somewhere.
We're going to do some interviews.
Yeah.
We're going to make this a thing.
Yeah.
It probably won't be live, but there will be a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're throwing that challenge out to y'all. Bring your kayak when you're at demo days this weekend because we know you're going to be there.
Yep.
And put that thing in the water and let's stack them up.
Let's see.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the women and children for dinner.
Boys.
That's right.
My brother.
We don't make the rules. Jesus does.
Jesus does. Amen. That's awesome. I guess if we don't have anything else about it, we're going to talk about the thing that we talk about every single weekend.
The thing.
The thing. It's the thing.
And I don't have. Maybe I do. No, I don't.
So, if you watched this show before, you heard this. If you watch this show, you're going to hear this again. We do it every week. I say the same thing every week. Jeremy says the same thing every week. We're going to continue to say the same thing every week until the time comes. September 19th, we've partnered up. Twisted Hooks Fishing has partnered up with North Alabama Kayak Anglers to do the inaugural Burns Victims Fishing Tournament at Lake. So, most of you guys, again, if you watch the show, James Boyle, Natalie Smith, around Thanksgiving of last year, were severely burned in a horrific accident. Both are finally home now. They're still going through therapy. They're still doing a lot of, they're just still trying to get
back to life.
Back to life.
Yeah.
It's going to take these guys
normal sort of
years to get back there.
Yeah.
So we had an idea to have this fishing tournament to try to help out. You know what I mean? To bring awareness to burns victims. You know what I mean? And to hopefully, raise some money to help their family with all the medical expenses, because I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine what type of medical bills these guys have got.
Here it is right here. Here's
There
the
you
flyer.
There you go.
This is where you can find it. Twisted Hooks Fishing.
Yep.
Jeremy and Chris Twisted Hooks under events, under North Alabama Kayak Anglers events.
Events page.
Okay.
The events
September 19th.
Yep.
Take a screenshot, be there.
Yeah.
If you can't be there, donate.
Tell
Right?
your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends to tell their friends.
Tell your friends' kids. Tell your friends' grandparents.
Right.
Don't matter.
Tell everybody that you know.
Right.
And
You know
tell them-
somebody who wants to be there and just set up a booth.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Tell those people that you told to tell their friends that they know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Spread the word, y'all. If you can be there, that's awesome. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing the officiating. We're obviously not going to be participating in tournament because we're going to, if it turns out like we think it's going to turn out, we're going to be kind of hectic that whole day.
Hey, look, if
That's
y'all
what we
come
want.
out and fish, we already won.
Right.
That's
100%.
it. That's it. Because we're able to help them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's people out there. We're talking about Mom and Pa Coughlin.
Oh, shit.
We're talking about Ryan and Mel.
Melinda says going to try and fly down.
What?
That's what she just said.
What? I mean, we talked about this several times, and they weren't going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they just said.
And they just said to us that they're going to try to fly and get down here for. Yeah, we're good. Try to fly to get down here for the tournament.
For the tournament.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I feel
But
like
If you guys come, I will give you an all expenses paid trip to my spare bedroom and a guide to drive you to the lake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And get you back even.
You can even use my kayak.
Might as well, because we can't use them.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, they even set it up tandem so that Melinda can kick Ryan off in the deep end.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And if anybody else from the Iowa crew wants to come down, they can use my yak. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
About that. The tournament, right?
Yeah.
We said if you can't make it, you donate, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah. So Pops Coughlin, Roger Coughlin,
Yeah.
first week that we started talking about this, came up with a challenge.
He said, throw it
He
down.
said, throw it down, son.
That's right.
And he sent us $100, right?
For each family.
For each family. So my man,
He says, here's my money. I'm putting it where my mouth can't be.
right. He says, I can't be there, but I'm going to help you all out. You know what I mean? And he threw the challenge down for anybody else that's out there watching. He's like, I can do this. You can do it too.
That's right.
All right.
You know who else got in there now since
exactly.
then?
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Oh,
There was a couple of y'all out there
it's
who
almost like I knew.
felt inspired. A couple of y'all out there felt inspired.
Uh-huh.
Ron Biggs sent money.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
Scott.
each family. Scott Hines out there, you sent money.
Boom.
To each family. Jason Lilly,
That's right.
you sent money. We love y'all for that. Absolutely love y'all for that. We love
That's
your
right.
heart. We love the fact that you're willing to give. You can't be here, so you found a way to help. You know what I mean? And that says so much about your character and your heart. And I mean, I got nothing but respect for y'all.
That's right.
100%. Yeah.
Love it.
100% love it. So we're going to have food trucks out there. We're talking to Campus 805 about having a beer tent.
That's right.
Yeah, we've got a couple things in the works. Don't really want to say what all we got going on until we get that type of confirmed. You know what I mean? Because we don't want really people to start to expect something that we're not sure we can make happen.
Yeah, it's gotta be verified.
Yeah, it's got to be verified before we want to
But
put it out there.
Let me tell you, there's work happening.
There's work going on.
Work happening.
Yeah. So
Hey, talk to your friends that maybe you go to their house, you hang out, you have a few beers, you see they got some rods or reels in the garage that they just ain't doing and it's collecting dust. Guess what? We'll put them to use.
yeah,
Send them. We'll give them away. We'll make sure a kid shows up who ain't got a rod can
they
fish.
can fish.
You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, man, I went to my doc last week. Generic checkup, whatever. I started talking to him about I asked him if he heard about the couple kids in Hazel Green last Thanksgiving that got severely burned, and he goes, "You know what? I think I did hear something about that."
It was on the news.
It
If
was
you
on
watch
the news.
it,
It was, if you're in this area, it was a big type of deal. And he goes, "Yeah, I did hear something about that." And I said, "Well, I know we're kind of off topic here, but I'm part of Twisted Hooks Fishing. I participate in the NAKA Tournament Series on kayak fishing, and we have this tournament going on." And he told me, so thank you, Dr. Stan Smallwood over at Twilight Medical. He allowed me to put some.
you were in the twilight.
I was in the Twilight Zone. Yeah, buddy, 100%. So thanks for letting us put some flyers up there. He said he would help us support, man.
That's cool.
It was cool.
That's awesome.
It really was. It really was. So that's cool, man.
All right.
Yeah,
So is that the end of that?
that's it.
That's the end of that.
That's
So
it.
I got challenged.
you got challenged
What?
by who for what?
I kind of feel like that was a challenge.
Where?
From Scott Atkins.
Where? What do you say?
Right there.
Good now.
About the challenge.
Kyle not saying yes to this challenge, I see. Oh,
Yeah. You just got
I feel like that was a challenge.
bam.
was a
He sure
challenge.
is. He's what?
that exactly was a challenge. Thank you, Scott Atkins. Scott.
Is Scott Atkins going to be there, though?
Oh, Scott.
He's not. He told me earlier today he can't make it.
He lives in Georgia.
He does. He lives in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like he's
Yeah.
coming from South Parkway. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
No, he's
Yeah.
160 miles from this house.
Yes.
Oh, man.
He drove here and was here at 7 a.m. so we could work on his kayak,
Ooh, boy.
which the live video was up, but I still need to edit it and talk about it. I'm going to do that, Scott. I'm just swamped. But yeah, I don't know if he'll be there, but he has the same boat that the two of us have.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exact.
Yeah.
Except his is newer and shinier and looks better.
Yeah. He ain't got the river rash on
Yeah.
it yet. But you
So-
will.
But I know somebody who has a native
I do.
I do.
that we haven't gotten a native in the challenge yet.
No. And the only reason that native doesn't have a whole lot of dust on it is because he fished out of it last week.
This is true. This is very true. What time is the?
1
What time
o'clock.
is it at?
1 o'clock.
Is it at
1
1
o'clock.
o'clock?
1 o'clock.
You got a tournament that day? This
coming
Saturday? This Saturday.
This
No.
Saturday.
I do not.
It's like a
know the
match made in
tournament this
heaven.
I
Saturday.
mean, this is fate, y'all. So I don't know exactly.
Oh, not Georgia, Cleveland, Tennessee. But I mean, I feel like it's right over by the Georgia border.
Sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
We didn't mean to call you a bulldog.
Yeah, especially when you're a volunteer.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
So yeah.
What?
I'll be out there.
What?
I'll do it.
What?
Oh!
What?
I will do the challenge in the name.
Do the cheers.
Do the
Bam!
clap. Yes.
I will do the challenge in the native.
There it is.
There it is. Son.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, sir.
Challenge is accepted.
So we've got KA fishing coming out. Saturday.
Damn.
Is there going to be food and stuff there? Out of curiosity, or is it just like the?
It's
no,
just-
no, pack a lunch,
Pack a lunch.
I'll probably bring the wife.
pack
Don't-
a cooler too.
Pack a cooler. Don't put your cooler on your kayak.
Huh?
Don't
No,
put the
no,
cooler
no,
on the
no,
kayak.
no, I won't do that.
So hey, we've got a native.
Way off topic. One of the kayaks that I talked to while I was frustrated, he had the coolest cooler I've ever seen.
What's that?
It was a fucking bobber this big.
Really?
It looked like a bobber,
Right?
and it floats. You can drag it behind the kayak.
That's awesome.
I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I go, you must be bobbing or fishing for shark. He laughed, obviously, and yeah, he's like, no, it's my cooler. I go, well, I didn't really think it was a bobber,
Right.
but it's awesome. It's
Right.
the coolest cooler I've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it works great. You toss it in the water,
Right.
pull it
drag.
up when you. Yeah, I was like,
No wait.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
I want one. Where'd you get it?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I didn't even remember that until this moment.
Oh,
Google
wow.
bobber cooler. It's kinda
Scott
cool.
says you're the man.
Thank
Ryan
you.
asked if we look at the cups that they sent?
We did.
Yes.
We did it on the show last
On
week, bro.
camera, bro. I know
Wait,
you were.
wait,
I
hold
know
on, hold on.
he was fighting fires.
Yeah, he was out there.
Yeah.
Fighting fires.
They are legit.
They're 100% awesome.
They're awesome.
Indeed.
Somebody gonna get a good looking cup.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gonna get some good looking cups.
That's right.
They're gonna get some gift certificates from On Demand Decals.
That's right.
Some koozies. There's a bunch of. We've got. I mean, we're months away, and we've already got a bunch of stuff to give away.
Yeah.
Venom lures, the kayak store, On Demand Decals, the Iowa crew.
Hey, since we're doing this,
What's that?
shout out to the sponsors.
Shout out to the sponsors.
Sponsors.
There
right?
you go. They're on the screen.
Hazel Green Chiropractic, who we're trying to help out because
Right.
he's the owner of that business, and his son is the one. Well, he is one of the two that got burnt.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
On Demand Decals. That's fun. Mama actually
Fun
won some CBD stuff, but they are On Demand Decals. Talking Express, the old man.
Yeah.
Who threw down the cash challenge, son. And then obviously we're throwing out Venom lures because we like them, but they sent us a metric crap ton of stuff to hand out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Platinum Koi, just because they're one of my sponsors.
Yeah.
Right? And they do phenomenal work. So that's our sponsors. Chris, talk about who we like that isn't a sponsor.
Well, as of right now, which is there's things in the works. There's
These aren't all just companies.
Right.
These are series, right?
There's
That we
series.
do some fishing
we've
for
got
too.
North Alabama Kayak Anglers, which we're a part of. You've got Bass Nation.
Which is who I did that kayak tournament through, and some board members of NAKA are
Right.
also part of the
Also that.
Alabama Bass Nation Kayak Anglers.
Yeah, Skinner, you can get in on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. You've got KA Fishing.
that's right.
Yeah,
This guy.
yeah, this guy right here. Bing, bing, bing. You got Bass Pro Shops. We don't have Cabela's.
Well, that's the team tour, the ABA team tour
the
that
ABA team
Kyle and
tour.
I were trying to do until he decided to upgrade his boat.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Of course.
And COVID.
But he's getting a better boat.
Catch some
Much
relief. Pain products. We
That's
just
right.
got through talking with Trinity earlier about that. Yep.
Sundress Chef. She won me the rib challenge last week.
She sure did. We haven't talked about her this time, but that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Tattoo
Remember it.
Expo,
You can do in a new canoe,
100%.
right? That's our thing.
That's our thing. That's what we
That's our
do.
thing.
Yeah.
And then
And God's got this.
God's got this.
That's the ribbon
That's the ribbon
for James.
for James. He's one of the kids, the two kids that work. Right?
So, I mean, that was one of the things that he said after all the things happened, and the reality has just been amazing to this whole thing. He's like, God's got this. I'm not worried. You know what I mean?
He got burnt
Bad.
bad.
Very bad.
90% of his body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3rd degree.
Yeah. Awful.
As the kid's getting thrown in the ambulance,
Right.
and then to get life flighted, the last thing he said to his mom was, "Don't worry,
God's
God's got this."
I mean,
right? I mean, 16-year-old kid,
if that don't melt your heart,
unbelievable.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then hell, you don't have a heart.
All right,
You know what I mean? Come on.
come
it's
on.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, wrong. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Kyle,
Kyle.
social
Yay!
media. If you're interested in this guy, go to one of these. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instagram.
What's the one you're on the most?
I'm on Instagram the most right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Once
Yeah.
the boat gets in, it is gonna go into effect.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
which one you on the most?
I am on Facebook right now the most.
Yeah.
I just got a new phone a little bit ago, so I've still got to do Instagram download and stuff like that. But I'm a kid, twisted hooks. So yeah, I'm on Facebook most.
You all know that saying, "Don't teach an old dog new tricks."
Yeah, I'm the old dog.
We're trying to teach him tricks.
I'm the
He's
old dog.
literally one of the old dogs.
Literally.
Literally,
Uncle Joe knows that.
Pinky.
Yep, one of those guys. Yeah,
and that's me. Yeah.
that's the gorilla.
I'm on everything because my phone is on everything. So if you hit me up, it may take me a minute, but I'll be there and I'll respond. But I'm on everything. Okay. And then Twisted Hooks. I mean, if you're a fan, give us some love, right? Get there, follow it, like it, share it,
Show the love.
love it.
Right. Tell your friends to love it.
I mean, if you're watching this, you know where we're at, but tell your friends.
Tell their friends to tell their friends.
Right.
And your friends can get with their friends.
Right.
Maybe they can be.
That's it. Maybe we can all be friends.
Yeah.
I think that's it, bro.
That's it, man.
Yep.
Thank y'all for watching the show.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank y'all.
For Kyle, KA Fishing,
Oh.
coming out this week. You know what I mean? Hopefully we'll see him again.
Matt Coughlin says, still on the crappies here, Lake and West Okoboji are slabs finally this year, and perch are getting strong.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Okoboji, man, is one of them that, like, it's one of them big names. People know what you're talking about when you
It's
say
definitely
Okoboji.
a big name, Okaboji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott says, Kyle, I'll be at the event in September for sure.
Who?
Scott Adkins.
Oh, really?
Another demo.
He
day
won't
in
be there.
September?
No. Okay, so Scott, are you saying you'll
Oh,
jump in the
oh,
water in
never
September?
Never mind.
Yeah, no, he'll be there.
Oh, okay.
He may
I
fall
got
in.
you. Hey,
Whatever.
accidents
Let's
happen.
make sure something's there.
Excuse me.
Melinda says KA Ass Master.
It's Ass Reaper.
It's Ass Reaper.
Ass Reaper.
That's
Ass
right.
Reaper.
Ass Reaper.
I got the pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
Many people do. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a hashtag somewhere on Twitter, because there was a dude behind me on the parkway.
If you don't know the inside joke, Kyle had a moniker on YouTube that was at Bass Reaper TV.
Yes. Bass
And-
Reaper TV.
Unbeknownst to him,
Right.
some intelligent person. I wish I could take credit for it. I
I
still
do
wish
too.
I could take credit
I
for
do
it
too.
because I didn't do it. But I want to be the person that did it.
I didn't need to.
He took the B off.
Yeah.
I took the B off of my decal.
And it said
just said
Ass Reaper.
Like, I took my kid to school with Ass Reaper on my back window.
Oh my God.
It
I
was
love
like
it.
that for like a week. I'm
Love
sitting
it.
at a red light on the parkway, and I
Had
just
no
happened.
idea.
I had no idea. And the worst part was because from the inside of the vehicle, there was still a little bit of
The
adhesive.
dust ring on
Yeah.
the back window
It
still
still
showed
was-
a B.
It still showed a B from
Yeah.
the adhesive.
Yeah.
And I see this guy behind me dying with his phone, and
Oh
it's
my
aiming
God.
right at my car. I get home and I look at the back window, and it says Ass Reaper.
The funniest thing ever.
That happens.
100%.
He didn't live that down for months.
Months.
I still haven't lived it down.
No, people still say it?
Right
Well,
there.
obviously, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
oh, I still hear
around
it.
work?
I still hear it.
oh, that's
Still hear it.
hilarious.
Still.
Hilarious.
Still.
Oh
Yo,
my God.
that was
I love it.
funny shit.
It was.
I don't care who you
It
are.
was
That's
funny.
funny shit.
It is.
It was
And if you
funny.
don't like that, then we don't like you.
Right.
How about that? That's funny shit.
Yep. Melinda says she got it so wrong, but she loves the story.
Yeah.
And that's the story you should have led with.
100%.
I think he was still hoping no one remembered.
Remembered it?
Oh, I knew it was there. I knew it was there.
Oh my God. All right. Love you guys.
We love
Thanks
you.
for being here.
Thank y'all. Hope you like the new digs.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Scott, if you're interested in kayaks, stay tuned. Well, I'll have some video coming up of like questions you should ask yourself before you buy a kayak, and comparing our new canoes to some of
Talking
these
about
other
Heinz?
ones this weekend for a stability test.
You talking to Heinz?
Yeah.
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 Did-
Or anybody else.
Well, yeah. Think about what you want to do in that kayak. You know what I mean?
I'm-
Ask yourself those questions.
I'm pretty sure I did that, Ma.
What's that?
She said somebody drew a cock and balls on her back window.
But see,
Oh.
at least on the bright side of that, that's something common. Like, you'll see that on an 18-wheeler sometimes. You don't see
Oh, yeah.
Ass Reaper
Ass
decal
reaper.
on somebody's back window.
You're like, this dude is legit.
Yeah,
he's dedicated.
straight up claiming this shit.
Dude
You
is
know what I mean?
reaping all kinds of ass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. She said she drove around with it for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
Well, at least
There we
you
go.
didn't have ass
Matt,
reaper
stay
on.
tuned. We'll have more videos on the YouTube channel.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all for being here.
Peace.
Deuces.
Good Lord. That was an hour and a half or 2.5 hours. We
Yeah.
talked a long time.
It's still
Man,
live.
that
I know.
flow- that
And broadcast. See ya.